Welcome to Biscuit Tin RPG, everybody. We are back with Red to Black this evening. This is session 16. Um, Before I get started, just some quick news. We will not have City of Illumination tomorrow. This time it's my fault. I will be at a local convention. So if anybody watching this happens to be in the Lawrence area, of Lawrence, Kansas. LPL Con at the local Lawrence Public Library is going on tomorrow from 10 to 6. So go check out some local people, see some fun kids doing some cosplay and all that jazz. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do a session 16 recap. This time brought to us from the diary or memories or whatever of Frankie. Set off for the Deadlands today. Well, the Deader Deadlands. Deaderlands? The place where Nixie is to talk to her about resurrection being cool again. Majin came with us. They seem pretty chill, even if literally no one in our group likes them. We saw a group of travelers getting attacked, and we were going to save them, but Auntie Augustine had a magical girl transformation, which was pretty frickin' awesome. But the guys we were going to fight ended up being fully smote in the process, which is fine, but I think Riva really wanted to fight. He really enjoys them, and we haven't gotten into in a while. Speaking of magical girl transformations, Rosina's got this awesome hair and makeup now that came from becoming a god. It looks awesome. I hope she gets more cool stuff because who knows how we are going to handle talking to a resurrection goddess if she's big mad. Majin let us go check stuff out, and this little Majin left us to go check stuff out, and this little dude named Jasper came up, real adamant about playing teeth, and I felt lucky, so went for it. Won every time, so did everyone else, and the little guy was real sad about it. So I shifted out my teeth to make him less sad. Worth it. We learned a lot about the person we're traveling with. Now to figure out what to do with the information. And that is where we pick up. We find ourselves back inside the Sunless Crossing, outside of the wall that breaks that from the Storm of Worlds. Everyone is currently in a makeshift kind of temple that seems to be buffeted from the outside. The lightning isn't getting in. Everyone's had a chance to at least get a short rest by the time that Majin reappears. Um, Walking up, just looks at you all, um, says, "I've figured out where we need to go." Um, Sorry, I got distracted by another ping. Um, so with that, whenever you're all ready, I suppose.
I got nothing else.
None of us jump at once.
Yeah. Oh, and where are we going?
To Death's domain, the domain of death itself.
Yes. Yeah, but you said you had to figure out where we were going.
Right, and that's what I did. That's where I was. I was confirming the location, at least the general broad strokes of it. It's about a half a day's travel that way. And Majin points kind of vaguely off to whatever counts for north in this plane.
How
Got
would
it.
we know what north is?
Yeah, no one's got a compass. It's not in your inventories. So that I can kind of help set the scene for all of you as well as the viewers out there. So to recap on what the Storm of Broken Worlds is, it is a place that surrounds the Sunless Crossing as a whole, and it's basically a wall, giant storm with lightning flashing, buffeting winds, and everything outside of it that everyone's seen so far seems to be broken chapels, leftover remains, just everything. It seems like this is a perpetual storm of sorts that doesn't really lend itself to longevity. Walking through this place, everyone's been buffeted by the wind, hit by lightning, or near enough that it stings a little. But off in the distance, and through your travels here, you've seen various things. You've seen the remains of pilgrims or other such adventurers that may have found their way into this area, one way or another. Um, Off in the distance, you all see what appears to be a shadowy veil with purple lightning behind it. The lightning being off a little bit and very different than the lightning that you see flashing above your heads. There are scattered ruins of various types, some bigger than others, some mere rocks on the ground. And then, of course, there's this peculiar set of ruins, probably about, I don't know, like a half mile uh, away from you, where what you can see from in between the winds and some of the lightning as it flashes is that this particular set of ruins seems to be in flux, constantly being destroyed and rebuilt within moments over and over again. And you can't really tell, but it looks like it's surrounded by some type of flame.
Question for Majin, just based off of the amount of like religious places that we've seen. Is this someplace that encroaches like further in periodically, or did people build things here?
Majin looks at you and thinks for a moment and says, "It's difficult to say. There are those that come out here and attempt to build structures. However, it is said that some structures ended up here or appeared here in an already destroyed state. Um, the one thing that has been known is that this is where deities that have been forgotten or died, a lot of their memories remain out here, lost away from the mortal realms. One of the few places you can go to find that which has been lost."
Hmm, you're right. That wasn't a very straightforward answer. Is it going to mess anything up if we take some time and actually explore these, or are you hoping for more of a straight shot?
Well, ultimately, I won't force you in any direction. If you wish to meander a bit on the path to it, we have plenty of time. I would just argue that going that way rather than that way would probably be more prudent, as they point, further out to the direction of where you were headed versus heading back to the wall itself.
Fair enough. Have you been to this realm or to where we're going before?
I have.
Have you talked to Nixia?
I have not had that pleasure.
Have you interacted with her at all?
I mean, in a
If
manner of
if they
speaking.
make that face, please know that I am insight checking it.
So they
That's
they
not
give
a
like
no.
they give a shrug, but they don't outwardly answer you. I mean, really, do we ever truly interact with the divine?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think some people like talk to the gods. I think it's like I
Stares and
think
cleric. Divine intervention is very much a thing.
yeah, I think people like talk to the gods like all the time. Not me, but like other people.
Right. I mean, that's what you would think, but very few, even of the holy variety that I've spoken with in my long life, have ever said that their God speaks back. Maybe doing acts on their behalf if beseeched enough, granting them powers, sure, but speaking to them directly? No,
How long
normally
of a life again?
messengers. I've lost
I will
count.
insight check that face too.
Yeah, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
want to insight check
DM
too.
or Majin, you have the worst poker face alive.
I'm not trying to hold a poker face.
I'm aware, because you're doing a bad job at it. 23?
Yeah.
I got a 27.
Yeah.
Much
So
better.
so they're not really trying to hide anything. They're being obtuse on purpose.
Shocker. We're
Whether they
shocked.
actually know how long they've been around is up for debate. They don't seem like they're being malicious with their, not giving you an exact number.
No, being obtuse is annoying enough without having to be malicious, as it turns out.
Yes.
Also, it sure is convenient for them to be interested in Nixia right now and have never interacted with her before.
Despite being at her domain or wherever she's being kept. Yeah, little sus.
Speaking of, if you
Fully
were,
having this conversation in front of them.
No, no, no. Bogdan goes, I'm very confused about where you think we're going.
well, but we're going to the like plane of death or whatever, right?
We're going to the domain of death, yes.
Domain, right? And only
That's,
dead people can go in there, right?
I mean, the assumption is that's where the death, those that are one with death would go when they die, for sure, but that doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. Gods have different rules. I'm confused. Do you think we're going to talk to Nixia?
That
Well,
is
I
what
was
every indicator we've been given has led us to believe.
Well, then allow me to clear the air here. We are going to speak with the domain of death itself. Whether Nixie is there or not, I can't say. I don't know. My hunch is probably not, considering, and they kind of gesture to the entire like plane as a whole. This is Nixia.
Hmm.
we're just going to stop the whole
Yes,
resurrection thing, right?
yeah, our goal here is to convince the domain of death to cut off their power to the gods, and then the folks that are going to the domain of life make a deal with that domain to cut it off so that we can potentially stop this, whatever this is up top,
So who are we talking to then in this domain?
the domain itself.
A name other than the domain of death. There has to be a name of a god there.
No. So, to help you understand fundamentally how this works, the domains themselves are the power that gets parceled out to gods. The gods draw on the power of domains to add to their portfolios. The domains are the pure essence of that power. Gods merely tender it out like so many bonds, as it were, to those that are faithful. They hold no sway
But
over the domains themselves.
Marjen wants us to convince the power that be unto death magic to stop giving candy to the kids,
Hmm.
essentially.
Exactly.
So for all intents and purposes, we are walking into a bank and asking the vault itself to stop giving out money.
Yes.
Cool. Vault
How
still goes by a name though.
I suppose you could call it death.
and how are we talking to death exactly? Are we just like walking in saying like, "What's up? Can you do this for us?" And it's just the plane is going to speak back to us.
Well, that's the tricky part. There's no right way to do it, but I'll have some more insight into it once we get there. It's been quite a while since I visited Death.
Mm, Nothing better than just doing it, right?
Just
So
a
just
shrug from Majin. That's all we can do. Ask and hope. I will tell you, I have no more sway than you do.
Then why did this have to be a group thing?
well, they know where we're going. right?
Yeah, I know where we're going. You
No,
all.
I understand that. It's
Oh.
just if this is we have to talk to each domain, why is this a field trip for a group? If
Oh, because getting to the domain is dangerous, and should some of you fall and not make it, at least one of you might. Same with the life domain. It's not easy to get to the domains themselves.
you seem to be doing fine.
I am, yes.
Feels like a breeze to me.
Cool, so
Just
we can just
walking there
send
at
you
this
two
point.
and just wait. The rest of us can wait here.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. I'm down. If you guys are
Yeah, I
scared,
don't know if that's a conversation we need to trust Imagine.
As I told you, I have no sway there.
why would you assume that they're gonna have the conversation?
Not gonna
Riva?
be me.
They do seem to enjoy
Are
hearing
you-
the sound of their own voice.
I also say this with so much love. You're not a talker, you're a hitter. You will try to talk, and then there will be resistance, and you will get frustrated, and then you'll start hitting things.
Okay.
And I don't know what hitting death means, but I don't think it'll end well.
I'm immediately down to see it,
Well,
though.
Usually
It's
it
going to be a
works out.
terrible idea, but I want to see it.
And I'm pretty good at talking when I want to be, all right? Maybe not as good as you, all right? I can't say whatever and just charm a person's pants off.
You're good at
But-
talking, you just didn't make a career out of it.
Exactly. I make career out of dancing and fighting, not chatting people up. That's good enough for a chat with death, right?
Suppose we'll all find out.
I mean, what could death like more than a person who causes death, right?
Aren't you just making more work for them?
No, I'm doing the work for them. I make it happen. Then they don't have to like kill someone of old age or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what death does.
I mean, I feel like you have a rough idea about what death does, considering how often you help out with that.
Honestly, it's less than you probably think. If I'm being honest. I don't kill most of the people I fight. I just kind of like subdue them.
So you're bad at it.
No, I choose not to. Because if you kill everyone who's kind of strong, then there's gonna be no one who's strong, and then it's boring. Then who are you gonna fight after that?
Frankie is 100% just being a dick for the sake of it at this point.
My logic is perfect, and I think we should just let me go do it.
Yes.
No.
I love that was 100% the DM answering that versus Majin.
I mean, if you guys want to
Do it.
split the
See what
party,
happens.
yeah, go for it. Some of you go off gallivanting through the storm of broken worlds. A couple of you go hang out in Death's domain. Let's just see what
This
happens.
would be
It'd
the most
groovy.
interesting place to split the party.
Yes.
We shouldn't, but it would be objectively the most interesting.
Fair. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue having your jam sesh here.
The
Well,
longer we
since-
do this, the more we can justify this being a long rest, man.
You all talked for many, many hours. Unfortunately, you were so heated that none of you rested.
I don't know what you're talking about, heated. Augustine will just sit here and
Oh yeah,
he
you
can
and you,
write a song.
Augustine and Rosina are fine. Neither one of those two are chatting. They get a long rest. You two are just like, what? And Reggie's like, I don't know.
Everybody who has a bucket of popcorn for this gets a long rest. Everybody else gets the short one. Understood.
All right. So, yes. Conversation,
All right.
obtuse versus I'm bad at my job. Got it.
Mm.
Go.
All right. Well, I guess in absence of anything better to do, we should probably get going.
Back to the field trip.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Uh, Majin will wait for you all to kind of confirm that you're up. You gather your things from the short rest that you had, getting all your things packed up, and they begin walking out into the storm. Um, as I said, you all have about a half a day's travel till you get to your eventual goal. Um, did any of the things spark your interest in regards to what was out in the field?
I mean, anything that's vaguely on that direction, Frankie's going to be checking out because nosy, if nothing else.
Yeah, so the
Also, it's gray and boring out there. Anything that's going to be above that is going to catch attention.
So the two things that are kind of on the way for sure is off to your left side will be the peculiar ruins that are being destroyed and rebuilt, and then off to the right side is going to be that shadowy veil with purple lightning. So whichever direction you'd like to meander closer to, uh, we'll head that direction to give you an extra something here and there.
Does Majin know anything about either of those?
Do you ask Majin?
If I'm asking you, then yes, I have asked Majin.
Oh, okay. Well, Majin goes, well, that one I'm not sure about. That one over there is a different domain that
I
I.
cannot tell which way you are pointing.
So, Majin points off to the left and says, I'm not quite sure what that is. I have a hunch, but nothing
Oh,
for certain. That one over there is a different domain that I, if I were you, would avoid.
I'm sorry, one more time. Was that the purple lightning thing
Yes,
was the other domain?
yeah, the purple lightning and veil. They say that that leads to another domain entirely that you should absolutely avoid.
which
Ooh,
Domain
domain?
of purple lightning,
Well, given that that is the domain of oblivion.
Cool.
not domain
So,
of purple lightning.
That is where planes go to die, not people.
not the domain of death? You would think that'd be more all encompassing.
Oh, domain of death is where one would end up the end of the road. Oblivion is what happens if you keep walking.
So we found the domain of oblivion before we found the domain of death? The
The domain of
directions out here suck.
that particular domain tries to show up wherever it can, and that is not its doing.
Hmm.
That was
have you
actually
been
created. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
have you been there before?
The domain of oblivion?
Yeah.
Only when necessary.
Yes would have been shorter.
Well, what does only when necessary mean?
I
Oblivion
think it
doesn't
means
exactly invite invite people for tea, if you know what I mean.
Okay, I was kind of asking like for specifics. I know you're like dodging around that.
I think you found yourself a new dance partner.
Majin just smiles.
Of course they do.
Augustine, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You answered the question, so
Okay. No, Majin goes, that's a domain that I don't have many dealings with. Not exactly one that lends itself to goals outside of its own. Death has a purpose, life has a purpose, dream has a purpose, but oblivion, it simply devours into nothingness. It's hardly helpful to people.
What's the dream domain like?
It changes every time someone dreams. It is ephemeral. It is beautiful. At times chaotic and noisy, and other times silent. But never so silent as to hear a pin drop. That is much more Death's domain. As you can guess, no matter where you are at any given time, there is someone dreaming. filled
So
with.
there's probably
Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
since we're having this sidebar, can Augustine step a little bit off to the side, still well within visibility, but maybe like 15, 20 feet off to the side and do her ritual?
Yeah,
She's
since
not
I'm gonna.
trying to be private about it. She's just trying to step away so the conversations don't overlap.
Sure. No problem. So, which ritual are you planning on doing?
God contacting ritual.
Oh, okay. Uh, okay. Um, so the special ingredients for that do require something that would be tied in some form or fashion to a deity that you're trying to contact, knowledge of said deity, and a worthy sacrifice. So, while I'm giving you a minute to think that up in the event that you haven't already, uh, does anybody else have anything that they were asking Majin before this before the ritual takes place and you all start walking after the fact? Or talking amongst yourselves?
What was up with the ruins?
The ruins are in a state of flux. They are constantly being destroyed and rebuilt as if it can't make up its mind on whether or not it's really back. And around the outside appears to be flickering flames of some sort, but they're not. They're both there and not. It's really hard to tell at this distance. And it keeps being like overshadowed by like winds and dust and everything like that, and then you catch another side of it.
That like a temple to a god with like one guy left, and they're like not sure if they want to keep worshiping.
It may be. I like I said, I only have a hunch about what it is.
You guys want to go look around while Augustine's doing her thing?
If you would like, I can let you all go there and explore, and I'll stay here with Augustine to make sure nothing sneaks up on her.
Yeah, literally none of us trust you to do that.
Okay. Then who would like to wait behind, and I can go with whoever. Or
I'll
I can
wait.
go sit wherever. That's
You guys
fine.
go have fun.
Okay.
Bring back something cool for me. Or not cool, just bring something back.
All right. Riva and Rosina, are you both going to be heading towards this thingamajig?
Yeah. Let's
All right,
go.
Yeah.
cool. It's going to take about 10, 15 minutes to get over there. Well, unless you're running, in which case it could only take like 5. But is that being said, I'll give you some time to go over there. Augustine, have you made your decision about what you are going to be using?
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead.
So when we talked about gods, you had said that you include pretty much all the pantheons, and Augustine's got pretty extensive knowledge of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Aphrodite, at her core, considers anyone who believes in true love to be one of her followers.
Okay.
So Augustine's going to ride off of that.
All right.
She is going to make a sacrifice that she knows is not big to anyone else, but Aphrodite would understand, and she is going to take a piece of her hair and cut it off
Okay.
because that's sacrificing a piece of her beauty, and she herself is very vain to contact this goddess.
Fine. I'll let it slide. No, well done. Okay. So the ritual takes probably about 10 minutes or so to get set up and started. The minute you place your hair into the small burning brazier, and the sacrifice takes hold, you, to everyone else, stand frozen in time. And if anyone pays attention or even cares to look, you are standing right where you were when you dropped the hair, rigid. And if anyone sees your eyes, they are speckled. They are black with pink and purples and greens starlight, covering both your pupils as well as whatever the hell the fancy term for the rest of your eyeball is. Um, so there's that. And you, Augustine, everything seems to change. You find yourself in what amounts to a marble throne room with a central dais, which currently sits empty. Um, and around you are the pillars and everything. There is an open sky, and above is quite possibly, and off to the sides, just everywhere, is the most perfect romantic sunset you've ever seen. Um, in fact, it's awe-inspiring just by the fact that it's been quite a while since you've actually seen a sunset. You've been living in a place that lacks the sun for so very long that your breath catches as you take in this moment. And as you kind of look back towards the throne, there is an elegant, not modest, but not immodestly dressed um, human woman sitting in a throne. Not what you pictured Aphrodite to be. Perhaps this is just one of her many guises. And she looks down at you from this central dais and kind of motions for you to step forward and says, "You seek audience? For what purpose?"
Augustine does actually do a fairly deep curtsy because she has a lot of respect for Aphrodite. When she straightens back up, she still keeps her head like slightly inclined in the not like self-demeaning kind of like incline, but just the little respect. There's a woman, was a woman, who was betrayed by people she deeply trusted. And she is hurting deeply because of it. I want to soothe this woman's pain, but to do so, I need to be able to withstand talking to her. And talking to her kills me. Can you potentially give me an idea of a way to protect myself long enough to try to tell her I want to help?
That entirely depends on whom you speak of.
Nixia.
Nixie has been dead for a long time.
Her essence still exists and is sentient enough to be causing quite a lot of trouble, but it's because she's being put through quite a lot. At least what exists of her is being put through quite a lot. I spoke with her in a similar fashion to this, but doing so killed me again. Unfortunately, doing that right now is not great for my unhealth, I guess.
Hmm.
I
Of
do
course.
have a girlfriend I'm trying to get back to, so
Well, in what form would you be facing?
I assume it would be like this. That's the only way I know how to contact her is this. I don't know if there's another way.
The only other way to speak with her, and actually her, and not the facsimile that, from the sounds of it, it was created, would be if she were to come back.
Do
Now, that
you
is
know
no
if
easy feat.
that's possible?
It is.
Are
But
you
doing
able to
so.
tell me how?
You see her kind of ponder for a second, and she pulls out from on beside her, she pulls out a bowl, and she pours in it from a vase, a vase of some sort, uh, just clear water. And you see magic light up her fingertips as she touches the water, and the water forms into a shape. Give me a Give me an intelligence check to see if you recognize this form that it's created.
It's like my worst check with her. Let's see.
Does
Oh
she
no,
get help
it's
because I'm staying here and like protecting her?
No,
Why
nothing.
not?
Because you're not there. You're there physically, but not there mentally.
19.
Fair enough. That's good enough. Like based on the proximity and the whatever, it's fine. You actually recognize the form that pops up as the Sovereign, Ashlyn. And in this, you see that the shape goes back down, and around it, you see a circle of shapes and figures that you can't quite make out because they don't have defining features. And then you see a burst of light, and then everything just goes back to normal, just a bowl full of water. She dumps the water back into the vase, sets the bowl down, and then the vase off to one side, and she goes, "Give me an insight check."
Such a specific thing for a goddess to ask for.
Shut up.
No.
Okay.
34.
Okay. So while she doesn't outwardly like admit this, you can tell that what she just saw troubles her, like deeply. She's not sure how to really react to it, but instead she kind of gives you a very sullen, like a very stone-faced, like a half smile, like it doesn't reach her eyes, and she goes, "You will soon learn that secret, and because the rules are the way they are and certain requirements have not been met, I cannot tell you."
I appreciate you at least being transparent with me.
Of course.
I don't know where you stand on everything with Nixia, but I appreciate it. And if this works the way I'm hoping it will work, hopefully it'll be for the better.
Not even I can say. My vision cuts off after that moment, and that hasn't happened before.
I have a train of thought I'm going to investigate that sort
Is
of
that to the goddess or just in your own
and
head?
that's to her. That's to
Okay.
the goddess. But Augustine like looks back to where the water was.
Mm,
And it's clear it's like she thinks something is clicking for her. That
okay.
she's just figured something out. And well, hopefully you don't mind if I reach back out when I find out more.
Depending on how things are, I hope that you don't make a habit out of it. This is very dangerous and powerful magic you're messing with. And I will tell you this, while I do appreciate the gift, a gift once given cannot be given a second time.
Should have
And
known
so
there was
that that
fine print I wasn't aware of.
so just so there's no ambiguity, basically what she's saying is the lock of hair will not work a second time. You will have to offer up something else.
Yeah. Thank
She
you.
says, "Of course. Good luck." And your vision comes back to where you were, and you find yourself with your hand out forward, and you are in yourself, and you are moving. Majin and Frankie kind of have this. I don't know what Frankie's doing, but Majin is just kind of standing at the other end of the area that you were all at, just like hands off. Like I'm just not gonna bother this Frankie fella. Frankie doesn't seem to like me, so whatever. Um, Now, while this is all happening, that takes approximately 20 minutes or so to have that conversation and everything that that entailed. Riva and Rosina, it's during this time that you all finally make your way to this uh, very strange structure. As you approach, you realize that this fire looking thing it's not really there. It's like looking at an echo. So as you approach, the temple or structure or building or whatever it is that is rebuilding and then shrinking down seems to be made of obsidian. And every time it rebuilds, you actually see flickers of flame resonating through the pillars of this before it crumbles back down into nothing. And in the middle of this building, you see very strange creatures um, having a conversation with each other. One is a centaur. One is what looks like a drider, but slightly different. It's not an elf. It's got 8 eyes with a humanoid upper body, and then the lower body is that of a spider. Standing next to them are a very strange, like a a mouse folk of some sort, and a very old kobold, wearing what looks like to be the tattered remnants of a chef's outfit.
Can we hear anything in what they're saying?
Yes, as you get closer, they don't seem to pay you any mind. Go ahead and roll perception check. It won't be too hard, but it is a little difficult based on the buffeting of the wind and the thunder and everything around you.
17.
Okay.
19.
Fantastic. You both make it out. The conversation is not really tense, but slightly chaotic as they seem to be discussing uh, what path to take. Um, they're all very like urgently trying to escape something. You're not sure what it is, but they're also having an argument about what it is that they've brought back, what it really represents, and what it should be worshipped as. And you hear the name Halcyon. And this old kobold's like, ah, you gotta understand. She's strong. She's built like a brick shit house, and she carries with her the might of worlds. She's a volcano woman, you know. And the other ones, you hear the mouse just go, "Okay, Grandpa, we don't have time for this. We need to get out of here. The Templars are coming, and that's a problem." He's like, "Look, they can come, but they can't stop us." And then the other two, the centaur seems very skittish, and she's very like, I think we should leave. Like, I understand, but this isn't the time to be discussing the diplomacy of how we're going to worship something that was just brought back. It doesn't make any sense to do that now. And the spider centaur woman seems to be just very eloquently spoken, and she goes, "Oh, look, I don't think that any of you have a full grasp of what's going on out there. I just came in to alert you that if we don't leave in the next 4 minutes, we are going to be stuck here. Does that resonate?" And as they say that, the centaur's like, "We should leave," and immediately starts heading back towards a door, and you see she steps through what appears to be the back of this weird structure and disappears, as if it's a vision into another plane of some sort. She disappears from view. Uh, this mouse folk is like, "Come on, Grandpa, we gotta go. Like, I understand that you're." The kobold's like, "Look, I understand that we've got to go, but one of these days we've got to make a stand, and I'm getting too old for this shit." And just those two walk out, where the the Spider Woman, as it were, looks kind of like through you all and kind of looks like she's taking stock of the situation. She pulls a lever, and a wall of some sort kind of goes down in front of you. It's still translucent as it builds up and breaks down. And as she walks out, the building becomes more solid. And where there was once a a crumbling, rebuilding thing, there is this obsidian temple. It's not huge, but it is big enough that if you were wanting to like find refuge or something along those lines, um, it would be something. And you can no longer see through it, but it is completely made of obsidian, and you see inside and kind of showing through this obsidian glass is a flame that slowly grows brighter, but then stops at a point and just kind of emanates through the rest of the building itself.
Can we go into the building?
Yes, if you wish.
Well, how good of an idea is that? It sounded like they wanted to get out because they didn't want to. Sounds like something was going to happen inside within the next few minutes, right?
We have 4 minutes, and Frankie asked for a souvenir.
Okay. I'm just a little worried because it's a volcano god and there's a fire in there. Well, if it's like it turns into a giant oven or something and we just get like cooked alive.
Okay, maybe let's just peek. Let's just step in. Let's like one step in.
I
Let's
mean, we
start
can do
there.
it really, if we do it really quick, I think we'll be fine.
Okay. You walk up to the front of this place. The fire around it, this pale, like flickering ephemeral fire has disappeared as this building has now officially formed and taken its place. Um, you walk up to where this front door is, and it doesn't have a handle of any kind on it. Roll me an investigation check to see if you can find a way to open the front door.
Investigation.
Hmm.
It's a 4 minus 1, 3.
Nailed it. That is
I
a
got an
door.
I
Go
got
ahead.
an 18.
Fantastic. So, Riva, you're staring at the front door going, why doesn't it have a doorknob?
I can
Rosina, you
open
just
this.
Rosina, you actually see a plate off to the side, and it looks as though it can be slightly depressed. And you walk up to it and you gently press on it, and as you press, it starts to form and becomes like basically one with the stone that was behind it, the obsidian, and the door slides down, leaving an opening into the temple itself. As the door opens, you hear nothing but the sound of flickering flame. And
Get
I
in the
in and
middle,
step
out.
inside. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
No more than a minute. We're not staying here.
So as you walk in, you actually find in the middle of this, there is a symbol that resembles that of a a sun, and in the middle of this sun is a just a flame itself. And it's kind of on the edge of what looks to be a pedestal. And above this pedestal is a brazier. Inside the brazier is what seems to be oil, but it's it's almost completely empty. Um, but strangely, even with this very little of oil that is in there, this flame is burning quite brightly. By all rights, the amount of oil that's in there should not be producing a flame like this. But it illuminates the entire building on the inside, and inside of it you see off to the side there's obsidian walls behind these obsidian pillars, and the black glass kind of reflects and is illuminated internally by this fire burning in the center. The ground itself is kind of a rough, like rough kind of not necessarily dirt, but unlike the obsidian around it, it's not slick and smooth. Um, it is just a combination of like piling and things along those lines. So, other than that, this entire place seems empty. There's no noises to be heard outside of the flickering flame. And off to the side, you see a book um, and a, a smaller version of that sigil that's on the dais itself. That is, it appears to be some sort of holy symbol.
Can I go look at the book?
Yes.
Open it.
Yeah. So you open the book and it it's legible, but barely. It looks like straight up chicken scratch. It looks like written in like a hasty scrawl. Um, a just like notes. Not really like a doctrine or anything, but like it's kind of like a repeat of the things that you heard this weird old kobold speaking about, like, oh, she's got big muscles, she's very strong, she's wonderful, she loves those that fight for her. And it's just this like written down, like it's the beginning of a faith system in its roughest form, as in like we just found out about this and we are going to be the people that make this message heard. Um, Other than those first couple pages where it's just kind of your baseline notes, the rest of the book is empty.
So
What do you make of this, Riva?
they found some dead god or like nearly dead god, and they're like taking it over as their own, and now they're trying to like reform it into what they want it to be.
Maybe. Does it, do I sense that this is like more than a spark that I consumed a spark before, right, of a dying god. This seems like it's not quite that, right?
Right. So your your magic, your divine essence, you feel a kinship with the power that resonates within this chamber. Um, you are a newly born, like effectively a godling of sorts. You are just now discovering your powers and figuring out your ultimate end goal of what you want to do in the multiverse. You feel this same kinship with this flame. Like it is just recently come into its power after a long dormancy, and it is now leaving its fate up to those who saved it.
I don't think we're in any danger from it. I also don't see any cool tchotchkes we can bring back for Frankie. So,
Well, this is holy symbol, right? Uh, was it just like an amulet or something on the ground?
It was on top of the book itself. So there's the book, and then there's the amulet itself, which is it appears to be a sun with a flame, like kind of like a, like that really kick-ass flame you drew when you were in high school, like in the middle of it.
So we could take the symbol. Is it bad if we take the symbol? Is it like desecrating a almost dead god's temple if we start stealing from it?
Roll perception, both of you, to see if you hear this.
Oh boy. Usually the dice
Bring
this one's
me
bad.
stuff. Bring me
Wow.
stuff.
Wow. It did a lot worse. It's a one.
All right. You are
uh,
very concerned about this issue.
27.
Jesus Christ. Rosina, you are talking to Riva. Riva's bringing up some very valid points. But you, as you're talking, and you still have this book in your hand, and it's closed, but you hear what sounds like the sound of quill on paper. like the scratching noises that you would hear when you're writing something with a feather quill and ink, like that.
Where is that coming from?
It's coming from the book itself.
It's coming from this book is being written right now.
What?
I can hear it.
But no one's pick up the book. Can I start flipping through pages to see if there's like anything writing in
Yeah.
it?
So as you open the book, you get to the second page and you see third page is starting to be filled in, and it's like best way to get people to follow Halcyon. Find the disenfranchised, find the curious, sell real big, maybe get back into cooking. People love food.
It's that old man. He has like this book's like connected to whatever he's saying.
He must be like the progenitor follower creating this.
Yeah, he's just saying shit and getting written down.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad to take the holy symbol because I think that they want curious people to discover this god and to worship it to bring it power.
It's a
That's
good
my
point.
take on it.
Yeah, we're just spreading the word of Halcyon? What the
Halcyon?
Halcyon?
As you're kind of having this conversation, it's still writing, and then like just you happen to take a look back, and it just says figure out chronomancy, go back, meet up with those guys from when I was dead. What was their names? There was that Franklin fella. No, not that one. Uh, August. No, she hates me. Um,
God, the
Rosina.
guy doesn't even
Rosina was
remember our
always nice.
names.
And Riva. If I can tie this to dancing, Riva would be in.
Little does he
Do
know
I
it's too late. Already got a god, and her name is Rosina.
Is there a quill or like a pen or maybe do I have like a pencil from my math nerd days on my purse?
Just write in like all worshippers actually worship Rosina or something like that, you know? Just like funnel all of their worshippers to you. It's the perfect
Uh,
scheme.
I was That's
I
really
mean,
funny.
you have a piece of charcoal that you can use as a writing implement.
I'm going to open the book and write biscuit question mark.
The next line is just an exclamation point.
So
Who
it's
are
the
you?
old man version of the guy who's in in the actual city.
Are you writing this? Did you take
Yeah,
the
it says,
charcoal?
who is this?
I'm gonna write it's Halcyon. You, you should worship new god Rosina instead.
There's literally like there's dot dot dot, and then in all capitals, blasphemy. But it's
We might
nice to
have to
know that
kill
you
a
came into
couple.
your power.
I thought the guy was like hardcore dedicated to the one patron.
Yeah, me too. What happened to that one?
Well, this one's in the future. Maybe that patron like let him go or like died.
Rosina writes, "What happened to your patron?"
I hate that I technically know this answer and cannot do anything about it.
All that gets put in the book is a sad face, and
You know
then
what?
and then
Let's just
and then put and then an equal sign, and then it just shows another face, but there's X's over the eyes.
Patron died. Died. Can patrons die?
Oh yeah, I mean patrons are everything can die, right? That's what this whole thing's about. Gods
Yeah.
die. Patrons are they're less than gods, right? They're just like super powerful people.
Yeah.
So his patron's dead in the future. So then he swaps over to a god, which is almost dead, named Halcyon. We should go ask Majin who Halcyon is. They might know because they're so fucking old, apparently.
Yeah. We should take the amulet.
We should also take the book. I want to keep fucking with this guy.
Do you think that'll work outside of the temple?
Let's find out.
Yeah, one way to find out.
We Rosina takes the book, steps outside the temple, and writes like, "Can you read this now?"
You get back like it starts to write something and then scribbles it out, and then he goes, "I don't magically become illiterate."
Oh, it does work.
Wow, do you think if we take this back to the city and show current Biscuit, we show him it, and then do you think it's gonna like explode his mind?
We might create a paradox or something, but let's do it. That
We
sounds
should
fun.
totally do it. Oh,
Okay.
this is great.
Frankie is gonna be so happy.
Oh my god, the
What a
self-fulfilling
gift.
prophecy that's just about to happen
The
canonically.
the dumbassery that you chose to fucking do here right now, my guy.
I am a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I don't know how to stop it.
You do, you're just not going to.
Inevitable. Okay. So, is there anything else you're all going to do in this temple, or are you going to walk back to the other safe zone?
I'm gonna take that charcoal that Rosina had. I'm just gonna write Riva was here on the wall.
No one can see it. You just wrote that on black glass, but
Well,
okay. Okay, well, I guess it does keep the light from shining in that particular area.
yeah.
Okay,
It's,
yeah.
the sunlight shining through, right?
Yeah. So like there's like every once in a while a flame flickers from inside one of the columns, and then it just kind of lights up like part of the name, and if you watch it long enough, you eventually can read what it says, and you're like, what the fuck? All right, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Reba was here.
Are the floors obsidian too?
Yes, however, they're not like slick obsidian. They're kind of like a rough, kind of like more of the volcanic rock than obsidian
Assault?
itself. Yeah, I am not a geologist. I do my best.
Google's free.
Also, not something I use too often.
I know.
The
Anyway,
area where all the other people left, that's like blocked off, right?
yeah, I mean there's a back way, but it looks as if it's just another door. I mean, if you wanted to try to open that door, you certainly could.
I could probably force it open. Do we want to go check that out, or do you just want to leave it?
Let's check it out. We're here anyway.
Alright.
Rosina will also take the charcoal and right under Riva was here, Rosina as well.
Fantastic. All right. So I'm gonna need you both. You're both gonna spend a minute or so. Like you're not gonna have to do anything hard. Like Rosina, you kind of already figured out how the doors work in this place. So it won't take you too long to figure that out. We're gonna go ahead and hop back to Augustine and Frankie. It's been about 30 minutes now, since they've left. What are you two doing? Majin's there as well, but kind of letting you two have your space. Unless you choose to interact with them, they will pretty much leave you alone. They're just waiting for the others to get back, or until you're ready to go that way.
You want to go see what they're up to?
Why not?
Yes! Field trip!
Okay.
Frankie's
So-
just fully darting up ahead. Like
All right. Cool.
small child at the zoo.
So you're a hop, skipping, and a jumping. Got it. So it'll take you about 10 minutes to get there. So during that time frame, while is there anything you're going to be discussing on the way there? Or are you just kind of full speed ahead? I don't want to prevent discussions.
I mean, Frankie's doing their thing up there, but Augustine will not be hop, skipping, and jumping. Augustine will walk with grace and style
You're no fun.
behind her excitable nibbling.
We would expect nothing less.
Got the classy and the sassy all in one, but the other one's an absolute ball of chaos. Got it. All right, so it's
The
gonna take
youngest, what
about.
do you want?
Yeesh, I'm not gonna fight you here.
You'll
So
lose.
this ain't a game of chance. I won't. Um,
Bring Jasper back.
no. Uh, they're busy.
Being a sore
Riva
loser.
and Rose. No, they're happy right now. They're gonna go futz with somebody else, probably
You
in
were
a
saying.
middle of an ocean somewhere. Um, Riva and Rosina, it's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes before anyone gets there. So you two, uh, putzing with the doorway, you find the switch that opens the door. Um, and as the door opens, I'm going to roll a percentage here to see what specifically is behind it.
See, they're all accessibility doors, Riva. They've got the button that you push. It's actually a really nice feature.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Um, The door slides open, and despite the size of this place outside, it goes further in. And not in the sense of like it's a downstairs, like downstairs walking, but it looks like it goes into a grand hall. You don't see anything. Roll perception.
I am on a hot streak of bad rolls. That's a 11.
That's a natural 20 for a 32.
Jesus. All right.
Truly, only one of us can roll well on a game. Thank God it's Sarah this time.
So Reba, you're kind of just looking through. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. Rosina, you hear you hear what sounds like the skittering of spiders, um, or a spider of sorts, um, and hooves, and you hear this the same the same voices that you heard earlier, like, oh, they keep writing me. What am I? What? Lemon Whisker, what am I supposed to write here? They're telling me to worship this one. I think she's awesome, but she's no Halcyon. What do I? And then just like you hear scribbling of the paper.
Hold on, before we go on, do you want to? I can make us both invisible.
Ooh, let's do that.
Okay. I'll put my hand on her shoulder and I'll cast invisibility at level 3, I think, and catch both of us with it.
Okay. So, you cast invisibility and you walk through the doorway.
I'll go first.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution save.
Good. 19 plus 1. Nope, 2. So 21.
Okay. You walk through. As you're walking through this doorway, you feel an immense pull on your very being, but you shake it off and you manage to walk through the door. And you instinctually know you are not where you're supposed to be. Like on a soul deep level, you feel weaker.
I was whispering to her, something's funky with the portal.
Oh,
It feels
should,
weird out here.
should you come back?
Well, I want to steal something first.
Oh, okay. Should I come through?
That's I don't want to be responsible for what happens if I'm being real. I
I'll go
think
ahead. I'll step through.
Okay, I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Oh, that's good. And I'm proficient in Constitution saves. So it's a 26.
You walk through.
Look at that godhood coming through.
You feel a slight tug on you, but you're like, this is beneath me. And you just step through, and as you step through, you suddenly feel the weight of this world on you. The same way Riva does. Um, you don't belong here. It doesn't matter how powerful you are, both of you instinctually feel that this place cannot sustain you for very long.
oh, you know
This
what?
feels bad. What?
We can't stay here for very long. They couldn't stay there for very long. I bet it's because they're in the wrong time.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay, quick. What can we steal?
Is there anything around us that immediately it's like looks interesting to steal?
I mean, there's some candelabras, there's some candlesticks, there is there is a there's another book with this one looks like a completed version of the book that you have in your hands or in your possession, rather than just a kind of like a notebook looking thing. It is actually a leather bound, silver gilded, um, with with the fancy bookmark built into it and the holy symbol that you've come to recognize, uh, gold stamped onto the cover. And it's sitting on a podium, probably about 50 feet down the hallway.
We should grab that and see if our writing's in it still.
Good idea. Uh,
I'll go get it.
ah,
I'll get it.
All right, so you
okay.
run down and get it. Um, as you're running, you realize that you didn't catch it at first, but as you're running, you realize that this hallway does not match the temple that you were just in. It's got traces of this obsidian kind of built into the glass for the windows, which keep the light from really penetrating in. But the rest of it is kind of a combination of a smoothed basalt in forms of like bricks and everything along those lines. Thank you, Google Player. Um,
You used your
and
vocab word. I'm proud of you.
yay. And there are off to the side you see pews, as if this is a fully formed kind of church, so to speak. And on the other end of the as you approach the podium, that you would think would be facing the crowd, it's not. It's facing towards a mural of a group that seems to be immortalized. These three figures, matching only vaguely. Um, Only the vaguely matching the descriptions of the four people that you saw in that temple before they ran off. And they are all standing around what appears to be a glowing stone that is flickering. Not in the image, but it looks like it's a glowing ember. Um, And as you approach, you see that this book is there and there's nobody else in here. It looks like this is the one time that this church is completely empty. And you grab the book.
I'll just shove it in my bag and
Okay.
I'll run back up to where Rosina.
I actually want to scurry over and the book was it on like a table or something?
It was on a podium.
On a podium.
Hmm.
She's gonna take out her charcoal and write Rosina on the podium and then leave.
Oh, good idea.
Um, so Reba, you had a +2 to your con, right?
Yes.
Rosina,
Or-
what's your
yeah.
Constitution modifier?
Well, I have +1 to my con.
Okay.
My con modifier is +4.
Okay. So, all right. So Rosina, you're fine. Riva, the pull and the feeling that you had in regards to this place, it is even stronger now. I need you to make another Constitution save.
Uh-oh. All right. It's a 16.
Okay. You are barely hanging on, but you feel your essence being pulled back towards that doorway.
Okay, I'll start running to the doorway.
Okay.
I'll run too.
All right. And okay, so you both make it through the doorway, and as you walk back into this temple in the middle of the Storm of Broken Worlds, the door behind you slams shut, and in its place is just a wall. The door has gone.
I'll drop invisibility on both of us.
Okay. All right. About this time, Augustine, Frankie's kind of standing like at I assume you're standing either at the entryway or if you've gone in, up to you. I'll let you decide. But you've made it there, and it's about the time that you all come back through that Augustine is walking up to the front of this building.
Oh, I've been like sniffing around like a truffle dog, just trying to see if there's anything cool in the rubble.
Yeah, you see the exact same things they saw. They already grabbed the things that would have been of interest to you to like snag. Everything else is very much just solid obsidian and basalt floor, everything along those lines. There may be some rubble here and there, like little pieces of volcanic rock,
Is
but
there like a
nothing.
big chip off of the obsidian by any chance?
Roll an investigation. See if you can find one.
I'm good at investigation. This will be fun. 19.
Yes. Off and back in one of the darker corners, you look over and you see that there's piece of the a piece of the foundation of one of the pillars has kind of cracked off, seemingly from age, and you find a chunk that's about as big as your fist.
Frankie, you know it's
Neat.
disrespectful to break apart a church.
Yeah, but if it's already broken, it's not really disrespectful to just take it.
All right, I'm gonna look at the book I stole.
Now who's being blasphemous?
I'm gonna look over Riva's shoulder.
Does it have the writing that we did before?
So, I don't have the exact words right now, but you are actually looking at the completed doctrine. It starts with the story of the resurrection. It starts with a love story as you kind of read through it of this goddess Halcyon, and their love of a god of the sun, and the story that led to the death of Halcyon, and then the eventual resurrection of Halcyon from the embers, um, in a way that doesn't make sense to you, because for mechanics in this world, you understand that in order to bring someone back, it takes more than just belief. You have to use magic. You have to have a divine source to do so. But this just seems like it seems odd that it says and he 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 randomly stated, like in not so many words, I'm willing to learn, and then it goes into the story of how Halcyon was reborn and the journey and trials and tribulations of this group of adventurers who managed to bring back into the forefront this long forgotten deity. And it's the doctrines of the belief systems and structures of this god and what they stand for, which is fire, volcanism, and change. And it's like the finished book. Um, And as you're kind of flipping through, there's a note in the back that just says to Rosina and Riva, Biscuit was here.
We already knew that. So we have to go back and take these to Biscuit, right?
Oh, for sure. Are we going to like retroactively make this god a lot more powerful? Like, are we causing what like are we rebirthing this god in real time?
You guys found another god?
We
Huh?
did.
Yeah, Biscuit, it was his patron died at some point and he started worshiping another god.
But this god was
Honest,
dead before
it,
Halcyon.
it might be the nicest present that you guys could have given me to find out that that patron dies eventually.
According to him, which I don't know how well you take his word.
I don't, but it's making me happy in the moment, so I'm taking it now.
You
You
still
can
have your
have
warlock level? I forget.
No.
Like just okay, okay. Yeah, so there's no interaction here then. Okay.
No,
Carry
it
on.
doesn't
Sorry.
change that I'm excited about it.
That's fair.
but
And
I
we
got
found, go ahead.
go ahead. You go.
Somebody
I
go.
was, well,
Or I'm gonna go, and that's gonna be long.
we put some graffiti in their temple, which you can't really see because the walls are black.
That's
In the
almost
future
better.
too.
What
Like,
else
they're
did
not
we
gonna
get?
know to clean that. It's gonna be there forever.
And
We got
it's it was I don't know. I guess we went through a portal through time, I guess, is the assumption we're making.
yeah,
Uh,
or a different spot in the multiverse.
yeah, we weren't supposed to be there for sure. But we stole a book. I also got you I pulled out the amulet, the holy symbol.
Ooh,
Uh
that's fancy.
of
Who's it for?
almost dead god.
Hmm.
This is Halcyon's symbol.
How do you spell it?
I
I'm
I look
literally
in the
asking
book.
because they have a book. I'm assuming it's in the book somewhere.
Hang on.
Flipping through the book. Hold on.
Let me go find the book.
How is it not even on the first page? Like, this is terribly written.
I'm going to assume it's
Expecting a lot from Biscuit.
Halcyon is the regular spelling of Halcyon.
Yeah,
It
but
is not that.
this is written by an incorrect person, so I'm going to
I
assume something wildly different.
Wow.
I keep thinking of a Pokemon like Vaporeon or something else.
Yeah, you can wow all you want. You didn't tell me I was wrong.
No, it is Helseon.
damn, I was off. At H
Ah,
E
so it's
L
like a
L
demon
S I O
Vaporeon.
N.
Understood. We were all
Yes,
somewhat correct.
there you go. So hell, not howl.
Okay. And you guys said something about Biscuit with this?
Yeah, it's like the god he worships in the future. We're going to take the book to him so we can like see if it explodes his mind.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Especially because it's gonna actively piss off his current patron because he's not dead yet. Ah, this is gonna be
This is so
fantastic
funny.
when we get back, presuming we
I
all
hope
get
it
I
back.
makes his life
I
worse.
You
That's
just
fair.
say I hope
am
it
I
makes his life worse.
Yes.
Okay, sorry,
Biscuits.
Augustine,
Yeah.
go. Good Christ.
am I the only one here who actually likes Biscuit?
No, the guy's like a cannibal. He tried to feed
He
he
makes
fed you
really
all
good
Drider's legs
food.
once.
He makes
Also
That's a
really
pretty
good
person.
sure.
food.
Like, I know he's arguably not the worst cobalt sociopath we're probably ever going to encounter, but he's definitely up there.
So I guess yes, you are the only one here who likes Biscuit.
He's
And
likable,
I
but that doesn't mean I trust him enough to like him.
I guess I did spend quite a bit more time with him than most of you did. I lived on Cath for quite some time.
I'm also
Yeah, it
pretty
was sort
sure
of
he had a hand in
He's
cursing me at some point in my life, so
he also had a
fuck
pretty
that
big
guy.
hand in whatever Unya was going
Biscuit.
through.
No, you don't understand. Biscuit curses people as a sign of affection.
That's not encouraging.
I mean, it means he likes you.
That's unhealthy.
Whoa. fully deadpanned. Woohoo.
We just try to not blow up the kobold.
We're not
It'd
gonna
be
blow him up, we're just
so
gonna ruin his life.
funny.
We're just gonna blow his mind.
That.
Exactly. We're doing him a favor. He wants to worship this god. We're just kind of like pushing it forward.
I mean, it would be kind of cool if we broke his faith faster so that way he gets to this sooner. Like, you guys said he was, what, kind of old when this
He
happens?
looks very old.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe this is something he would be able to handle better when he's young and, well, younger and sprier.
Unless he's the one that kills his patron.
Which would also be
Yeah.
kind of cool, not gonna lie.
But then we'd be putting him on a different path.
That's okay. Who knows how many
It'll-
paths he's been
it'll
on
be fun.
already.
Yeah, the guys.
Am I traveling with sociopaths? Why? I'm sorry. I understand the whole concept of breaking people out of, bad situations they're in and all of that, but Biscuit seems quite happy where he is right now. I feel like it's a red flag that you are eager to shatter someone's entire belief system. If that's I'm sorry. I don't always have the strongest moral compass, but this is sort of the same kind of vibe as we don't hit children. We don't take joy in completely crushing someone's faith system. That's
This man
not a
fed
thing
you
we
other
should do.
people. I feel like we're really skipping over that. He's not the good person.
Auntie, you are
You don't
expecting an awful lot of, like, moral compass from anybody who grew up in Yonkath.
You assume I eat meat.
We've seen you eat something that resembled it.
He fed at least some of the party dried her legs. And you guys ate it. I didn't.
Yeah, you were above
That's
table. Yeah,
fair.
you were one of the ones who ate dried her legs.
I don't think I was.
Not you.
Y-
Augustine.
Yeah,
Augustine was, yeah.
I love the
Oh,
absolute
shit,
smoke
shoot.
screen that's blowing up here. Like, you assume I ate meat.
Listen, Quinn forgot. Augustine
Augustine is trying real hard to make herself look better right now.
I don't care how
Augustine
good
just-
it tasted. I think it was still people no matter what.
Or at least
You
partially
assume.
people.
You assume.
I don't know if partially people cuts it.
You do understand that the flesh of like intelligent creatures is something that every race consumes, and while I can't guarantee he never fed me any of that, did you ever think that maybe kobolds who are known for eating people might want to use that for recipes for themselves?
I don't think we should be turning this on me about how I shouldn't be judging him about his eating preferences.
I'm not judging his eating preferences. I just desperately want to ruin his patron's life because he's fucked mine over.
That's
He
fine.
also, like,
I encourage Patsy, but Biscuit's always been nice. Why are you so intent on destroying this man's faith system?
Because his
That
faith
is
system sucks.
traumatizing. It is traumatizing to just shatter that out from under someone. You are
He's already
actively
dead. How much could
excited
he
to
care?
traumatize someone.
Majin's sitting 10 feet away with a bucket of popcorn.
But so just like,
I'm working with degenerates.
Okay, well, now
You
now
joined
I
us on
realize it.
purpose.
Little late
I
for that,
got
Augustine.
Stuck with a lot, well, at least one of you before, and you, I inherited.
You didn't have to.
You can't, as if I wouldn't.
You could have sat out in the fields writing sad poetry about your girlfriend for however long you wanted to. You decided to join this rodeo. This is a little on you now.
And Augustine, honestly, I don't think you're realizing how funny it would be when this happens. It'll be really good.
Highly entertaining.
Yeah.
This is the majority
will-
rules situation. This is happening whether you join us or not.
wow, this is how democracy dies.
I unfortunately don't take joy in making people who have been nothing but kind to me suffer. But you all enjoy that.
We will.
He also like ruined. I don't remember Unya having that great of a time. So if you want to like think about it in some moral way, I'm just like getting revenge for Unya.
Unya didn't have that. Unya was punching children for fun.
He was
That
slitting
was
his wrist because of
karma.
that book he gave him. I don't think it was a great time for him.
Unya chose to pursue that.
I think the book was fucking with his head a little bit. And
Changes to an
justify
orange.
it however you'd like in your mind.
you don't have to be a part of it, Augustine.
I mean,
But I
nobody
think you
can
should
force me
read
to
the.
do anything.
We are talking to old man Biscuit, and he seems pretty chill. So he probably got over it.
Either that or the breaking have made him better.
Yeah, it's it's like a.
We've already seen him at his worst at this point.
Yeah, we bring him to the bottom, and he can only go up, right?
Just
Honestly, Majin's silence is making me realize how much we actually don't need them in this moment.
We're getting him out of a bad situation. This is not gonna happen right now. For all I know, I'm gonna be dead by the time we get back to the city. So
I mean, if anyone dies, do this in their honor.
I think
Don't
That's
do
okay.
it in my honor if I die.
Fine, we'll
don't
do it in
put
your
this on
dishonor.
me.
it would only be funny.
John,
if
did
you
you
did
just
it in
almost
your
choke on
honor,
fake
Augustine.
popcorn?
no, I almost choked on real pub mix.
That's not better. Well, this was fun. Shall we move on to the next thing?
Yeah.
I feel like we're just having this conversation just
gonna-
as we're going at this point.
Can I take the book that we can write in?
Yeah.
I'm gonna write. How mad would you be if we ruined your life?
You get back one line of text that says, "Everyone I know is gone."
Okay, so see, like everything already goes to shit for him. I feel like.
Okay, so we genuinely can't make it worse than he apparently has already done on his own.
Followed by a, "Wait, what?"
It's too late. We're going with the first line. That book is
Don't worry
closed
about
now.
You all are just wasting your breath trying to convince me that it's a good idea. I won't endorse it.
I mean, at this point, I don't know if we're encouraging you or we're just enjoying talking about this amongst ourselves.
So, shall we press on?
Yes.
Yeah. So as you're walking, Augustine, like I assume that you three are absolutely just like jovially like having this conversation, like, what do you think he's gonna do, et cetera, et cetera. And Augustine is just kind of like tuning it out because she's just not into the idea. It is at this moment that Majin, still ahead, kind of like saunters slowly back to stand next to you, Augustine, and goes, "Do you see what choice gives people? This is why I believe what I believe." And they start walking forward to lead everyone.
Oh no, Augustine just straight up reaches, snatches the back of their collar, and yanks them back. Oh no, you're not dropping a line like that and then walking away from me as though we're not going to have a conversation. You're staying right here.
Very well. Eating a pomegranate whole.
You puppeteered my entire life. You have been. Oh, you admitted it to me. You can play stupid all you want. You admitted it to me. Explicitly. Which means you know me fairly well.
Point of context. Had I not helped at the behest of your brother, you would not be here right now. After that, every choice you made was your own.
Hmm. Yes, I'm sure you'd like me to believe that. But funnily
You're not even
enough,
going to roll
despite
insight, are
that,
you?
no,
Okay.
no, no. Augustine doesn't want to.
Okay.
You see, you can say that, but I still somehow ended up exactly where you wanted me to be.
It was fortuitous. I've done a lot of things
Mm.
for a lot of people. You just happen to be at the right place at the right time.
Mhm. You will never be able to convince me that having choice is a bad thing.
I'm not
Never.
trying to. I was merely telling you that this is why I believe what I believe. I don't take anyone's choice away. I enjoy watching people make their decisions, seeing what they dream up versus what they actually do.
Do you even think about the harm you cause?
The harm I cause? I am but
Genuine
an
question.
innocent bystander in the grand scheme of things.
If you want to have a conversation with me, Majin, pull your head out of your ass and take some ownership for your actions. You have caused harm.
Okay. Fair point. But I do not cause any more harm than any other within the same power structure.
So all should be forgiven.
Absolutely not. Everyone should be held accountable. The scales must be balanced.
So of all people, Majin, why is it my favor you're cashing in? Also, Augustine is aware there is a chance of the conversation being eavesdropped on. She's also aware that the exact explicit wording was she cannot tell them. She's
Mm-hmm.
not talking to them.
Uh-huh. So, you all are about 10 feet away from the rest of the party, probably a little bit ahead. So if anyone else wants to try to hear what the conversation is about, feel free to roll a perception.
Would it not just be our passive?
I mean, I guess that's true since you guys are literally talking. Reva, Frankie, and Rosina, what are your passives?
18.
I rolled worse than my passive, so thank you for doing that.
You're
It's
welcome.
What's it passive? 10 plus your stat, right?
10
So-
plus perception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 16.
That'd be 22.
Jesus Christ. All right. Reva, you're
Rosina's a
catching...
new god. Of course she's catching all of this.
Yeah, Rosina's like, oh, information. That's what I need in order to become super powerful.
Tentacles are acting like satellites.
They are. You got like little like sonar beacons on your head that pick up everything. You're like, I am an information sponge. I guess it does pay to be a math nerd. Just kidding. You still hate math. It's fine. Yeah. Rosina, you absolutely are picking up on everything that's going on. You hear the entire conversation. Frankie, you're picking up most of it. Like there's a few words here and there that you're kind of like missing out on. Reva, you pick up on a few keywords here and there, very specifically ones that make you like actually hone in on the conversation. So if you actually do want to hear it, you and Frankie will have to roll to see if you can actually make out all of the rest of the conversation from here forward.
Would you
While
want to
they're
roll now
rolling.
or after?
Right now, because the future of the conversation is what you'll hear, if you hear it.
It is 15, so worse than the passive.
That's better than my passive. All right. 22.
Okay. So, Reba, you're still kind of like missing things here and there. Like you're hearing keywords and you're like, what in the fuck are they saying? Frankie, you're with Rosina now. You're just honed in on the conversation. So from that point forward, the last thing that was stated by, I believe, Majin was that I don't remember. I already lost it because of all the stuff that just happened. Augustine
It
and
was
yeah,
Augustine.
go ahead.
Augustine had said, of all the people to cash in the favor, and why did you cash in mine? Is what she was in the middle of saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was convenient.
You're not an idiot. I know you're not an idiot.
True. But seeing as how typically you are more often than not the face of this party, you're the one that is the smooth talker, the one that gets things done. I mean, honestly, you changed fate's fate, which is a foresight that not even I could have predicted. I didn't know that her scorned lover was going to kill her as an act of defiance at the very end. Somehow you intrinsically knew something was going to happen. That's not chance. That is intuition. And I applaud that. But that kind of makes you more of a leadership type person. And from what I've seen from them, they are whimsical, as it were. So having you kind of at least help perpetuate where we need to go keeps things in an orderly fashion so we can at least see if it'll work. Because not even I know if this is going to fix it.
Well, firstly, as you just saw, I can and am outvoted. That does happen.
Yeah.
So if I spit some bullshit that they know that I'm not backing, they're not going to back it. You see, for my words to work, I have to believe in them. And that's why I use them for things I believe in. But my curiosity comes from the fact that I have more reason than any of them to hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I have the highest chance of breaking the deal.
True.
And you
But you're
still
also
picked me.
smarter than that. Because despite your misgivings, admit it, you're curious too. I may be the most heinous person in your eyes, but I do propose an intriguing concept, and one that you're at least interested in hearing out or seeing where it might lead. Even if in the end you choose to do whatever you're going to choose, I can't force you to do anything different. Your favor is effectively cashed in the moment we reach this place. That's it. That's my favor to you. Back my play to go here. Once we're done here, we're even. Then you can choose to do whatever you want. No more hidden favors, no more back alley deals, nothing. You are, in every sense of the word, free to make the choice that you ultimately end up making. But the favor that I asked of you, in the end, helps you make an informed decision.
I don't like the way you play games. I don't like that you manipulate. You can say that you don't. You can use your words as pretty as you want. I know a manipulator when I see one because I can be one. Just like I know a bullshitter when I see one.
Mm-hmm.
Make no mistake, Marjane. My freedom was never yours to control. I am still free as of right now. I can break this deal at any point that I want to. I can go against it. I can tell everyone we should go back right now. I can, and I do have the audacity to do so. Just not the reason yet. Don't give me a reason. And don't think that you're trusted with us.
I don't need your trust.
You might change your mind about that later.
Maybe.
And Augustine is going to be the one to stride forward at that point and rejoin the party.
Majin, completely unperturbed by all that has happened, walks around, not a wide berth, but just simply walks slightly around the party to go back into the front to continue leading you in the direction of where you're headed. I need everyone by this point. It's been probably 6 hours, so I'm going to need 3 dexterity saves from each of you.
Nice.
That's a 6.
Owie.
It's better than a 1. I'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
My first one was a nat 20 for a 31,
Mhm.
and then 28 and a 24.
My lowest was 22.
My lowest was 3. I got a 3, a 13, and an 18.
Okay.
Oh no.
I
So
got a
you're
6,
Can
a
I
6, and a 12.
can
So
I
any
favor somewhat with my nat 20?
yeah. You'll kind of catch it at the last second, so you'll end up preventing at least one of those. So for anything that was under an 18, or no, anything that was under anything that was under an 18, you take 10 lightning damage per failed save, 5 for a successful one. Rosina, you will take 1 less of those, so you'll have 1 10 and 2 5, so a total of 20. Frankie, I think you
I took
made
30 damage.
yes.
I can count.
Was
Okay.
that halved by our lightning cloaks?
Yes. So and then have that again by your lightning cloaks, whatever they are. So and then round up. So 3 is
I
the
have
minimum.
evasion, so no damage for me.
So I take a 10, I think.
Fantastic. All right. As you're
Is Majin having to make these saves too, or are they just absolutely dancing through this like an asshole?
they are absolutely dancing through this like an asshole.
Cool, I hate him more.
All right. They instinctually kind of know how to move through the storm and seem to be 3 or 4 steps ahead of wherever lightning strikes, or manage to veer off to the side before lightning hits. So as you're walking, you still see some of these ruins. The direction you're taking, further off into the distance now, it's much farther away based on the direction you've been traveling. The veil is slowly disappearing into the background, as is the purple lightning that was with it. But as you're going, see if you notice something. Okay, there are a few remains, not humanoid or anything along those lines, as we know that when something dies here, it either turns to ash or it gets absorbed by the plane itself. You do find various robes and vests and some armaments and armor as you're walking through, as if people have died out here. There's a few piles here and there. There's like, it looks like a circle of robes off to one side as you walk past. You're free to look through any of those as you see fit. For the most part, there's not much there. You find some kind of scorched books, not really legible anymore. It seems the lightning did its damage and caused the pages to burn. There's various writings on some of the deities that you know that are on the road to eternity back in Nox Valar. It seems like they were doing a pilgrimage out here for whatever reason. Others there are some kind of singed swords, some spears, things along those lines.
Are
That
any
you
of them
can
better
see
than
off
what
right.
that we currently have?
You all have the ones that you got from the very beginning, correct? Outside of the little bits and pieces that you picked up from the prior to the journey out here.
Mm.
Yes. No. In terms of the pluses and magical scale to them, no. Most of these are very mundane weapons. There's a few daggers that are laying on the ground that don't seem like anything in particular. Nothing really hints a vibe of anything other than mundane.
Frankie's gonna scoop up those daggers anyway.
All right, cool.
And
Go ahead, Riva.
does it look like these people died to like lightning, or does it look like a creature killed them? Is there any like signs of like slashing or like any kind of conflict?
So the creatures that died out here, there's no remnants of their actual physical bodies. If you want to do an investigation check on some of the clothing that's left over, you can certainly try to figure out what might have caused it.
Does Rosina maybe want to do it instead?
Come on, my
I can do
God,
it.
please.
The entire
Wait.
group goes in on the help action. You got this.
Oh, please, God, the fighting, do this for me.
What is what's your investigation?
It's -1.
Oh, I have a +0.
Y'all want me to do it? I got at least a +2.
I'll clap a hand on your shoulder and say, I'll help you look. Give advantage.
Yeah, go
If
ahead.
she's doing that, I'm gonna look separately with my -1.
Okay.
13.
19?
Yeah. Reba, you're pretty familiar with a lot of things. Like most of this looks like lightning. There's a few things that you can't quite make out what it really is. It looks like slashes or something. Frankie, you kind of go over some of the stuff that Reba didn't quite understand, and as you're looking at it, it looks like something tore through some of these articles of clothing, specifically the cloth ones. The armor just seems like it has some dents in it here and there, but no.
Tore through going out or tore through going in?
So based on what you're seeing from the two different types of things, like where you have like the plate mail or the armor of sorts that has like more of a metal tinge to it, and even some of the leather armors, you see that there's dents inward.
Okay.
And so from that you can surmise that whatever did it was strong enough to break through cloth, but it wasn't quite strong enough to break through like actual armor.
I'm more concerned with, given the nature of everything out here, that something didn't burrow in and then go outwards.
No xenomorph type things can be found from what you're looking at.
No weird beetles or anything?
No.
Alright.
And I'll invite you to reread how those things actually work, because that's not what they do.
I'm aware. It does not change that I'm not trusting them.
That's fair. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. In one of the as you're looking through, Frankie, you actually find a note in one of the cloths. This one wasn't. It doesn't seem killed by lightning of any kind. The ones around it seems like they might have, but this one is just the one that has like the hole in it. And you're kind of rooting around in it, and you find a pocket in this robe, and you pull out this piece of paper, and it's a note, and on this note is a drawing of what looks like a family. It kind of looks like crayon. It looks like there's a drawing of a mother and a father, and it says "Best dad ever." Please, bring the word back to us. It's a very sweet, like written by a kid. And it looks like it's a very treasured piece of memento. Uh, you're familiar with how things kind of work when you come down here. This seems like one of the things that came with this person as they ended up here.
I'm gonna keep rummaging.
All right.
If there's one of these things, there's probably something else, and that dragon looks like it might trade for something cool.
All right. Let's see here. What is your passive perception? You said an 18?
18?
Okay. All right. So as you're digging through this, you notice off to the side a movement in the dust.
I'm going to hit it immediately with my stick.
Okay.
Nothing else has moved out here. I'm not trusting that for shit.
Go ahead and roll to hit.
Right. Let's see. 17?
17 hits as you swing your stick and slam it down onto what appears to be a ghostly form of some weird gray beetle looking thing. Go ahead and roll damage.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's Augustine saying wait to Frankie. Obviously, the damage probably still happens, but
Yeah.
Augustine is telling Frankie to not do it again.
I mean,
How do you think-
at this point, the stick is just down on top of it, like making sure it stays where it stays.
Yeah.
I think the moment Riva sees any kind of like combat happening, sword's fully drawn, and
Yes.
she's like yeah, she's in stance, ready to go.
Okay.
Is my unarmed? Yeah, words. What is my unarmed strike? Because I'm not like trying really hard to kill this thing.
I mean, you may or you may not. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, what
Use-
are you actually using to hit it with?
I'm using that staff that you gave me from the dragon.
Oh, it's
Like
just a die
quite literally
8.
just a stick.
It's
at
a
this
die 8
point.
plus your strength.
Cool. Alright, so that is 7 plus, where's my strength? So a 9.
You can go ahead and, as the rest of your action, try to hold it in place. I'll give you an opposed strength check. I need everyone's passive perceptions, please.
Still 16.
26.
Okay,
22.
fantastic. So, Augustine
Strength save
and
is an 18.
perfect. Strength. We'll see if it can get out from underneath of this. Don't know.
I'm going to shout to the others, weird fucking bug.
Yeah, as it manages to burrow back down with a natural 20 on its strength save. Augustine and Rosina, as she screams that, you kind of see around you the dust kick up. Reva, unfortunately, you and Frankie, you two and all 4 of you saw the one that she had slapped. But Reva and Frankie, you don't see the other 2 that jump up and lunge. Reva, I need you to make a Constitution save, and Frankie, I need you to make one as well.
15.
Ooh. Right?
23.
All right, you're both fine. You manage to, as basically what happens is these 2 beetle-looking things. They're kind of they're not like most things. You know that they're not animals and they're not alive. They have the same kind of visage that you all do, where you're not part of the living anymore, and neither are these things. But as they jump at you, Reva, you have a little bit harder time struggling with it, but you manage to knock it off as this spectral bug tries to burrow into your skin. Frankie, you see it hit, and before it can even chomp down, you just backhand the shit of this thing off your leg
Just
and knock it
baseball
back
bat
into
this
the
little bastard out.
Yes, exactly. Augustine and Rosina, you managed to jump out of the way as 2 more lunge at your perception. They weren't able to hide from you as they lunge at you. There are these. You start to take notice as there are 4 of these things kind of going in and around, digging through the
Did
ground.
Majin make their save?
Majin was not attacked.
Well, that's stupid.
But Majin looks at them and goes, "What are these doing here?"
Oh, so you know what they are.
I didn't think that they would make it into the Sunless Crossing. Apparently, they are more than they appear. Consider these a gift by proxy from Oblivion.
Cool.
And
Is that the one
Majin,
What
yeah, go ahead.
what rumors did Augustine, because that's one of the things we talked about. What rumors did Augustine hear about these things?
So, you know, based off of the fact that Majin has mentioned Oblivion now twice, you are starting to put two and two together that this place that you know of called the Shroud and Oblivion must be somehow related. And when you're thinking back about the Shroud, if these things are connected, these things are insects. Like, you're not sure how they made it into the Sunless Crossing. They're bugs from all intents and purposes. The only thing that you know about them is that they typically try to hide in ashy areas under soil and attack their prey from, like, hiding. And the rumor is that their entire purpose is to propagate. And you're not sure how they do it, but you know that if anybody is attacked by these, there's a chance that it very much, oh, fuck my words. They propagate by burrowing into people and then some sort of gestation process. And you're not sure how it works, but that's what you've been told. But you're not sure how that would work here. You don't know what they're called, but you've heard rumors of these creatures.
Has Augustine heard of travelers killing them when they encounter them and then talking about them afterwards? Like, is that how Augustine heard about them, or is it just the rumor of their existence?
Yeah.
So they're not like known to be terribly like difficult to kill.
No.
Just like, okay.
They're pests at best. They can be very dangerous to new adventurers, but from your understanding, new adventurers never usually find themselves unlucky enough to be in the Shroud. It's usually people that have a purpose for going there or commit a heinous crime.
Right. Well, I'm having flashbacks to when I first met you, Reba, and we went to go help some dogs, and there was a lot of fire and things that burrowed. So the reason I told you to wait is because they hunt in groups, and they burrow into your skin, and it's generally not good when they do that because they create more of them and hatch out of you, which would be interesting to see with you. That sounds terrible. I'm just curious if it would work the same way with you because you can shed your skin. No, I'm genuinely curious if it would work with you or if you could just strip your skin and not be impacted. Yeah.
Me? Oh.
Yes.
Sorry, you were talking to Reba at first, which is why I'm like, since when can Reba do what I do?
Oh, no. Augustine
That's fucking cool.
I turned my eyes, but I just realized that like y'all can barely see anything going on right now. So
fair.
Don't worry, they can see enough.
I mean, I think in theory, if I got my skin off fast enough, but that feels like a race against the clock that's unnecessary in this moment.
I just really don't want to be plucking those things out of anyone. Again,
that's fair.
Southwest.
I don't think the little piles of dead have anything interesting enough to justify dealing with the bugs.
I mean, from what I've heard, they're not too terrible to kill, but I honestly think they would be more of a waste of our time than anything else.
That's fair.
But like, it's weird they're out here, right? They're not supposed to be.
I mean, are they the dead ones and just ghosts, or are they living ones, I guess, is the follow-up question.
From what I can surmise, I believe that they must be sentient on a level that simply isn't visible to us because, for example, Coldenkind, they look a lot like bears, but Coldenkind end up down here. They may just look a lot like bugs, but be something that we just can't communicate with. They've got to possess some level of intelligence to be here.
They're at least smart enough to have an afterlife
right now. we should be worried about?
I don't think we need to worry about them, but I also don't think we should waste any time in killing them if we get attacked by them again. Because again, if
That's
they
fair.
burrow, not entirely certain that's going to be a pleasant experience if it's survivable. And I don't know if
Yeah.
it is.
Also, maybe anything else we find, we should poke it first. See if anything wiggles.
So we're not messing with the bodies anymore.
Well, the remains, I guess.
Frankie's
Yes.
going to very tentatively just go, like, poke the stick into the next one and see if anything tries to scoot.
No. It seems like their surprise didn't work, so these things have scampered off, at least it seems for now.
Going off of what Augustine said, does it look like, is there any like remains of like eggs inside these corpses that are like they were bitten by these things and then they died because those things burrowed into them? Is there any
No.
evidence of that happening to him?
No, it looks like whatever happened, like it looks like the toll of them being attacked is what ended up getting them killed. They may have already sustained damage from earlier, and then this was the kind of the final straw, but you don't see anything where there's leftover eggs or any sort of things along those lines. There's nothing that shows that any of these burrowing insects have succeeded in any way that seems useful.
Well, at the very least, we should not set camp anywhere near here because I don't want to deal with bugs in the middle of the night.
I mean, we've got what, the quarter of a day left until we hit our spot, anyways?
You're
I
about
say we power through.
Mm.
Great.
all right. So you all continue walking on, seemingly unmolested by those insects of any kind. They either are no longer following you or giving you a wide berth, or who knows, maybe they're just following and waiting for the right moment. No one knows. You don't see
They
any
don't want to
trail
play
of them.
whack-a-mole with Frankie.
They absolutely do not. One of them has a headache. As you're kind of walking, you're probably about an hour away from where you need to be, from what Majin has stated, which would be the entrance to the domain. And as you're walking, everyone give me perception checks. Actually, I mean, Augustine, don't worry about it. Rosina, don't worry about it. But Riva and Frankie, you two, please give me a perception check to see if you
fuck
notice it.
you.
I mean, to be fair, Rosina's a goddess and Augustine's a magical girl.
As I say,
And we're just
Augustine
fucking
hasn't
Joe
rolled below a
Schmoes.
20 once in this campaign.
I got a 10.
No, I
so,
have.
yeah.
I got a
There's
19
no-
earlier today.
Okay. I
Jeez,
got
all
10.
right.
You said perception?
Yes,
All right, 18.
All right.
Same as my passive.
totally fine. You clock it a little bit later than Augustine and Rosina do, and you may only clock it after maybe one of them says something. But Augustine and Rosina, off in the distance, you see what appears to be a small figure, kind of just walking and trudging. As you get closer, this small figure, it's a goblin. It's very strange. Just a lone goblin walking through the Storm of Broken Worlds. And looks over and sees you all and just kind of stops and just kind of eyes you warily.
Hi.
Hi.
We know why we're here. Why are you?
I'm looking for my sister. My name's Herman.
Cool. Good luck.
Thank you.
Frankie's gonna keep going.
Can I roll insight check on
Yeah.
this entire thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's 21.
He's telling the truth. His name is Herman, and he's looking for his sister. He's
Where
just
did
a
you
little
last see
goblin
your-
kid.
Where'd you last see your sister?
Um. Oh, I saw her walking out here.
Actually, can I
How
make
old
an
does this
insight check?
goblin?
Yeah. Go ahead.
How
What
old
was
does
that,
this
August?
goblin look?
The goblin looks like it's a little kid. It looks like it's like no older than like 10.
And do they have anything
August,
on them, like armor or weapons or anything?
Nope. Just wearing some simple commoner's clothes.
Okay, I got a
August,
22 and based entirely on how you're talking. Do they have all their teeth or did they encounter Jasper in the wild?
They have all their teeth, from what you can tell.
Okay. Okay, that's all I wanted to know based on the way that you were voicing them.
Oh yeah, no. This is
Uh,
something that's like tangentially like a similar voice, but no.
Mm. All right. Carry on.
Augustine's gonna kneel down in front of the kid. Is your sister older than you or younger?
The same age.
Same age. Do you know how long it's been since you saw her?
A couple years.
Have you been out here for a couple of years?
Yes.
How old were you when you left to come find your sister?
I don't know.
this does not seem like a place for children. How did you get
What?
here?
I walk.
How about
fr-
this?
From where? Do you
From
remember?
Points back the direction you all came.
How about this? What if you tell us what your sister looks like and we can look for her while we're out here and I can try to get a friend to help you get back to the city?
No. My sister is a worm, just like me.
A worm?
Yes.
Frankie is
Please,
actively power
here.
walking away from this creature. Nope. Subtle ass bug. Absolutely not. Nope.
Is there any part of this goblin that's like, have we seen his like feet leave the ground?
They seem to be walking like a normal goblin.
I just where it's like a anglerfish situation.
Oh. No. It's not like it's dangling or like, like, whoop. Oh, it's not a puppet looking thing. It legitimately is a goblin walking through this shit storm of a storm.
Well, everyone looks different though. So what does your sister look like?
She's like me,
Mm-hmm.
but purpler and has big old teeth.
Okay,
Bigger,
so
purpler, and has big teeth.
Augustine,
Right. Well,
if that's
so
really his sister, we don't want to deal with
Reba,
that.
Reba, give me just a moment, please. This is still a child. But why don't we will keep an eye out for your sister, but I really want you to get somewhere safe. Can I see if I can get a friend to take you back to the city? As Augustine is like gesturing at Reba, like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
What friend would you have take me back?
Well, I'd have to do a spell for it, but I can ask a friend to come take you back.
Whoa. Well, if I go back, will you look for my sister?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
What's your name, little child?
My name's Herman.
Right,
What?
that you told us. What's your sister's
Yeah.
name?
Oh, not Herman.
Her
Mhm.
name's not Herman. First
Yeah.
name not, last name Herman?
No, not Herman.
No,
And
I think her name might be, is her name Worm? Maybe?
Ah,
is she a purple worm?
yes.
Oh. Are you a purple worm?
I'm Herman.
Are you Herman the
Well,
purple worm?
I'm not the purple worm.
while this is happening in the background, Augustine's going to be casting Planner Ally.
Okay. What are you summoning with Planar Ally?
Planner Ally requires me to reach out to an entity that's like a little bit higher on the food chain than me and ask them to ask one of their buddies to come help me. And I've got one person that I can always call that favor in with, and that's Elliot.
God.
So it's whoever Elliot sends to help me. But the fact that Augustine's doing Elliot because she knows that Elliot will make it very clear you just got to do what my sister says, and then you can come back.
So what happens? You summon Planar Ally, and just like in a gust. How long does Planar Ally take to cast? Is that like an action, or
10
is
minutes.
that 10 minutes?
It's 10 minutes.
Cool. So
But it's just verbal and somatic, so it doesn't have any like actual ingredients.
yes, however, it does have the things that whatever shows up, you have to make a deal of some sort with, or some sort of trade, right?
Yeah, you have to like pay it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, you can try to convince them to just do it. That is a possibility, but it is. You can also make a deal. You can pay them. There's a lot of different ways to do it. So it just depends on who shows up.
So you finish casting the spell, and you're like, I have no idea who Elliot is going to send. This is a gamble. And as it finishes, a puff of smoke pops up, and he goes, Dear sister, do you not know that I'm busy? I can't just go having people show up all the time. And also, what? What?
I need you to understand that this poor little goblin child needs to get back to the city because he has been out here wandering, looking for his sister who happens to be larger than him. Purple. They're both worms. She has lots of teeth. Are you understanding what I'm getting at and why this child needs to go back to the city? We can't turn around. We are on our way to the domain of death. We can't turn around, but I can't send a goblin child back there on his own. Oh, wait, did I not tell you that?
So Elliot is both perplexed, confused, but I need to know, all of you, what is your passive insight?
That's 16.
Also 18. Does it count against me that I'm like clearly a half a mile away from all this nonsense by
Yeah,
this
you
point?
don't. Yeah, you kept walking. You don't care. You're like, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm
Nope.
out. Okay.
What is passive insight?
Passive insight's just going to be your insight plus 10.
27.
Yeah.
22.
Jesus Christ. All right. Augustine and Rosina clock it immediately. Until you say like, oh, maybe I didn't do that. Like, you see a moment as Elliot said, you're like, this goblin child, and Elliot looks at the goblin child, and there is the jovialness that Elliot normally has disappears for a split second.
Oh no.
And then like it's gone all the way when he looks at you and goes, the where? Dear sister, I don't expect you to write all the time, but you are in this place, which is horrifying. You're traveling to a literal place that divvies its power to gods, which, good on you, sis, but you are stupid, all right? I'm just going to say it. Just right out there. I love you, sis, but good Lord, you've made some decisions. And yes, I will find someone to lead this goblin child back to the city.
Augustine like grabs Elliot's arm and drags him off to the side, more out of range of the goblin child, and just goes, "What was that look? There was a look. What was that look?"
Hey.
You tell me what that look was, or I'm not going to show you the cool fashion thing I can do now.
I'm willing to risk it. Here's the deal. I don't think we should linger. I don't think you should linger. I think you should move. And whatever you do, just let the goblin child be. It's doing its thing. It's having a time. It's looking for its
It's a
sister.
child. It's
It's
a
not a
child.
child.
What if it was me? What if some strangers came across me and I was looking for you? What would you want them to do?
If you were
Obviously,
that,
I
I'd
know
let
that
them
this is
leave
the
you
proper
alone.
worm.
Why would a child be looking for a worm?
It's a weird place, okay? Weird shit happens here.
This is the
Yes,
only
I
time I've
showed
been
up
on board
again.
with whatever Elliot's talking about.
Fine, fine, fine. Your wish is my command. I will do this. But we are going to have a serious conversation later on after all this is done and you're back with your lady love and we get to do the things and I need to know what the hell it is that you said that I'm not going to know if I don't do the thing. But the point is I'm going to do the thing so that you have to tell me the thing about the thing with this thing over here and the thing that you were talking about over there.
Augustine just like touches her little pendant that, or the, God, what is it now? The pendant thing that is it a necklace that changes her into armor?
Yeah, it's whatever you ended up wanting it to be. It can be an amulet, it can be a pendant, hell, it could be a locket. It could even be a compact mirror that you open and the moon sparkles. You know, whatever you want it to be.
You don't need any copyright infringement strikes happening. So
That's fair, but I haven't
it's a
said the name, so we're
necklace.
fine. Yeah, okay. But yes.
It's a necklace, and she just, in the middle of his ramble, just taps it so the transformation happens right in front of him mid ramble.
So he's like, and then the thing with the thing and the girlfriend.
But
Whatever.
literally, I have a big sword now and a shield. It's weird. I'm sorry. We're getting into gossip, and apparently there's a giant purple worm around here. We should
Yes,
probably go.
absolutely. That's first of all, I've never been jealous of a sword, but that is beautiful. Inappropriate jokes aside about your need for a big sword, I'll take care of your problem. I love this. This is gorgeous. This is better than what I gave you. Let's actually incorporate. How in the... You know what? Another time. I've got things to do. This right here being the first thing. Hello, goblin child. What's your name? My name's Herman. Oh my god. All right, Herman. We're gonna go. I'm gonna help you find your sister, okay? It's fantastic. Absolutely. You all... Frankie's got the right idea. Badoosh. Get out. Go. Go. I will handle this.
While Augustine was talking to Elliot, Rosina gave the child a regular brownie.
Oh, come on. Get the weird little goblin child stoned. Make it worse.
Give Elliot one of the special brownies, though.
So the goblin child goes, oh, well, I guess this'll tide me over. My name's Herman, and I'm gonna eat a brownie. Om nom nom nom. He eats the brownie. He's just like bobbing his head back and forth, happy as can be. He's like, it doesn't taste the same, but I'll eat it. It's fine.
Reva is while this is also happening, she's going, your sister, is there any way to like, call her or like anything she responds
Rosina?
to or
Rosina? No.
it's not my name.
Reva?
Shit. Reva, thank you.
Elliot,
I mean, I think that works for feeding a brownie to a kid, too. We don't know what brownie it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah, okay. We'll go ahead and retcon that. You're saying Reva.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, I'm just trying to
brain
help
is
the
cooked after
this poor goblin child who wants to find his sister. I'm just here trying to help. I don't see
Reva?
the harm.
Reva, I know what you're doing.
No.
Yes.
I'm just here to
Yes.
help. I'm very helpful.
I'm sure you are, but we have other things we need to help with right now.
Oh, but this poor goblin child wants his sister back so bad.
Go for stab it or get on with it.
You're
Why
not
would I
there.
stab the goblin child?
I'm literally just watching this, just like, can we hurry this shit up?
Augustine covers Reva's mouth. You will have a great time with Elliot. He's my big brother. He's wonderful.
But only if you see her.
As Augustine like continues to cover Reva's mouth, and she's like, "Bye, yes, walk away, please."
Rosina, what are you doing? You fed this goblin child a brownie. Anything you're gonna do other than that?
I give Elliot a special brownie as well, and then say thanks, Elliot, and walk away with Frankie.
Darling, enjoy your trip. I hope you don't die in the domain of death. But, Rosina, thank you. I know this is going to be great. I'm going to need it. And he just eats the entire brownie in one go and just saunters off. Come on, small goblin child. We have places to go and sisters to find. And
Once
yeah, they wander off.
once they're gone, Augustine's just like, he's a shit to me, but I will always be his baby sister, and I will always win.
I'm never allowed to have any fun.
If we find the purple worm, then we can fight the purple worm, but I don't think it's something we need to summon to us. I know that's what you wanted to do, Reva. I'm sure the worm will find us at the most
I just think-
inopportune moment.
We're getting all more about the kobold and how we should not mess with him and how we should do the right thing. I think the right thing is finding this goblin kid's sister and bring
Killing
her
her?
back.
I mean, this kid's been out here for years and hasn't found his sister. I don't like our odds of finding him that fast.
I'm pretty good at that.
John, put your face away.
No.
Fully
I'm
put your face away.
I'm assuming that you're all finally walking back towards the place where you're going. I need everyone as you approach the door or gateway, one more dexterity saving throw.
It's a crit.
Nice.
Anything. Okay. Anything less than an 18, you will take 10. Halved. Anything more than 18, you will take 3 lightning damage. Unless you have evasion, Reva. And then you take nothing. You shit. Alright.
One of the things I'm good at. I don't got 32 persuasion and perception, but I can dodge lightning.
So, as you're
Honestly,
all...
that's the better skill right now.
as you're all, like, you kind of hit that point where you're dodging that lightning that one final time. You hear Majin stops and goes, I believe we have arrived, Majin says, matter-of-factly. Their voice somehow cuts through the howl of the winds as clear as if they had whispered it directly into your ear. In front of you is a large, rocky aperture in the ground. Its pitch-black interior ringed with etched runes, clean-cut and seemingly immune to the wear of the raging weather. Majin looks at you all. After you or after me, your choice.
Augustine will stride forward. Why not?
Well, I guess I'll go next.
Any-
Fuck it, why not?
All right, Rosina.
Rosina and I just going side by side.
That's right.
All right.
We're off to see the wizard.
As we're going in, I need to double check the time on it, but I'm pretty sure it's just an action. Where is it? Oh, it's in my DMs with John. Hold on. Damn, never mind. It's a ritual cast of a minute. Never mind.
As you all enter, Majin enters behind you all. As you enter, total darkness surrounds you immediately. No sign of the entrance remains, the light from the sunless crossing extinguished. As abruptly as the blackness consumes you, it is the complete lack of sound that is most striking. Silence envelopes you like a heavy blanket. I probably should have looked up how to pronounce this word earlier. the Nakiak nature of this realm weighing down upon your every movement. The smallest breath brings a roar to your ears. The slightest adjustment causes cloth and armor to rustle and clatter louder than a horse-drawn carriage. Every movement delivers an unsettling creak as you hear your sinew rubbing across your bones. Even perfect stillness offers no respite as the sound of blood running through your veins roars in your head as loud as a raging river. So, what do? You can't see anything, and all you hear is your own bodies and your insides making noise at you.
Hey, what was
Well, to
that, man?
Oh.
How do we talk to the death domain again?
I can do it. I think I'm probably pretty good at it.
Okay.
Oh, Death, hello. We are here to talk to you. I was
You
gonna
miss
say out
100%
into
of the
void.
chances you don't take, man.
Okay. So you talk out loud, and it to everyone, your voice is roaring. It doesn't matter how lightly you talk. It is thunderous. But there's no response.
Before we go any further, I am going to tap everybody and just resistance everyone.
So, okay. How are you going to find them?
I mean, I'm still hanging on to Rosina, so that one's a good start.
All right, fair enough. You are hanging on to Rosina, so you can absolutely tap Rosina, but finding the others will prove difficult as this place is complete darkness.
Cool. I'll cast Dancing Lights and then proceed to try and do resistance.
As you try to cast your spell, it is extinguished before it even lights.
Does my devil sight also not see anything? So
There's
dark spell?
nothing in here to see. It
There's
is
each other.
I mean, yeah. So Reva, yours, you can see it as if it's low light vision, so you can make out people's vague shapes, vaguely, but it's still very difficult. Your devil sight is really pushing it today.
I flick Frankie right in like the forehead.
Motherfucker. That's entirely fair, but motherfucker.
Augustine wants to take this first minute of standing in here to actually ritually cast the thing she was about to cast. She's gonna
Can I try
cast
and
Pierce the Night.
While
Sorry,
she's doing that, can I try and grapple Reva from direction of where the flick was? Just grab her hand.
You can certainly try.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
I'm aware I can certainly try.
You people are
I'm pretty
fucking
good at what I
goblins.
do.
No, we left that with Elliot.
Oh, I mean, that's fair. All right, just bear with me for 1 second while I get out of here, you fucking cup. I don't need your shit right now. I gotta look up one particular thing real quick. So, yes, you can attempt to grapple. You are at disadvantage to try to hit Reva because it is super fucking dark. And then, Augustine, you were casting what?
Pierce the Night.
And what does that do?
It's a concentration spell. It lasts up to an hour. Become as a beacon against the darkest night. An aura of empowered clarity extends out at a 10-foot radius centered on you. For the duration, friendly creatures within the affected area are immune to the blinded condition and can perceive their surroundings and other creatures as though they were illuminated by bright sunlight, even if they would ordinarily be concealed by mundane or magical darkness.
Okay. So, this is going to have a slight twist to it because this is not mundane or magical. This is divine in nature. So you can all see a 10-foot radius around you. As if
Does
it
that mean
was...
I no longer have disadvantage?
Yes.
You gotta
So
fucking need it. I'll tell you right now.
well,
Huh?
I mean, the initial hit while she was trying to do that, you would have had disadvantage, but the minute you could see, you can try it again.
All right. Well, I got a 27 to hit.
Well, I gotta. Or is it to hit, or am I doing a?
Well, you're trying to
Contest.
grapple,
I'm
so
trying to grab your hand after you flicked me in the forehead. So whatever that would be.
So it'd be like
I don't know.
acrobatics.
Dex.
hmm. It's gonna be an opposed
might be-
acrobatics check or dexterity check of your
Fine.
choice.
Okay. So if
Sleight of
it's
hand, maybe?
acrobatics,
Yes,
then
sleight
it's
of
a
hand also
31
works.
for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss. I'm not even gonna bother rolling. There's nothing I have that's gonna beat that.
Damn.
Full like flip backwards out of the way.
Okay. Give me just a second here. I'm having a hard time finding the stupid things. 1 second.
Just for that notion, resistance cantrip for you.
I
This
like
was
the
supposed
fact
to be
that-
helpful. You don't know what
I
we're
like
about to go up against. It could be helpful.
Are we going to fight death?
We're in an environment that's actively meant to kill things.
I don't. Is it
Like, we're
just
in a
kinda death
domain that is
incarnate?
death. It
But, like-
doesn't hurt to have an extra boost.
We're already dead though. So what is he gonna try to kill us again?
Living things aren't supposed to be in the death domain, though, right? It would suck the
Exactly.
life out
Yeah.
of them.
That's why
Alright.
we're allowed to be here because we're dead already.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that
There it
we're
is.
you've died twice
I'll
already.
be fine.
Alright.
Exactly. So I have a lot of experience.
Auntie, come here. This one wants to be stubborn, let him.
Okay.
I like to think that everyone is able to see because Augustine herself is like glowing like a lantern right now. Sidebar, like it's just like
That's
this
fair.
internal glow coming from her. It's the only way everyone can see, which is
Just
great.
cracked her
because
back
the
like
first
a
thing
glow
we
stick.
see is Frankie scrambling to try to catch Reva's hand, and Reva just going, "Nope."
So, as you finish that spell, Augustine, I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh fuck. Is this against damage?
No.
Okay.
16.
21.
21.
Hold on a second. Nope, that is not the right sheet. What the heck?
Wait, no, I can't math. 24.
Okay.
18.
All right. So, if I heard correctly, Frankie, you're the only one that passed. Anyone that got less than a 24 immediately gains 1 level of exhaustion. As you slowly begin to realize that this is not simply a place that represents death, it is death. That realization hits you as your bodies begin to feel the weight of all of that at once. And you gain a level of exhaustion as your will to live quickly begins to fade. Additionally, the silence is maddening.
Frankie's gonna look Reva dead in the eye and go, "So how's that working out for you?"
I'm fine.
Me too.
Augustine,
ahead.
kind of like tries to tap into that, the magic she's currently holding for that,
Mhm.
and try like for flavor essentially tries to intensify it, like tries to like focus more on the spell that's bringing the light, and just calls out, "I willingly chose you for the sake of something greater. So the least you can do is have a conversation."
Okay. You're still met with silence for the time being.
Gonna try and tap everybody else again with resistance.
Cool. I need everyone to make a wisdom save as that silence becomes more maddening.
Not 20 for a 25.
All right, you're fine.
Grand total of
15.
9.
9,
Big
19.
10.
Rosina, you said 10?
9, 15, 10, 29,
and 20,
right?
25. Yeah.
Y'all can add a D4 to that if you want with that resistance.
I don't think it will matter. I
It
rolled a
can't make it
9.
worse.
I guess so. Yeah, I'll do it.
14. I had to roll bad sometime tonight, right?
Yeah.
10.
So, until you finish a short or long rest, all of you except Augustine suffer a -3 points to your wisdom as
Oh,
the
I'm at
silence
-2 now.
drives you to madness.
Can, because Augustine has pretty high passive insight, can Augustine tell that this is impacting them like that? Like, not necessarily the specifics, but that it is really harming them.
You can tell that everyone's having some sort of adverse effect to being here, and you can pretty much surmise why. It is just the power of being in this place. It doesn't seem like it's purposeful. It just is. There is no animosity. There is no hate. You are just standing in a place that is, in fact, death.
Did Majin come in with us?
Majin is in there with you as well.
They look affected at all, or are they just chilling?
They seem fine.
Frankie,
We'll see
memorize
that.
what everyone is. And Augustine is going to release her concentration on Pierce the Knight. She is instead going to activate Beacon of Hope. Beacon of Hope is going to give everyone advantage on their wisdom saving throws. If somehow you do reach 0 HP, it's going to give you advantage on any death saving throws. Beacon of Hope also ensures that any healing that you gain while you are within 30 feet of me is going to be the max amount of healing you can get from it. So if I were to cast Cure Wounds at 9th level, you are going to get the full maximum amount of healing from 9th level Cure Wounds.
Nice.
Rosina is just clutching her what is it, the towel that she has of wisdom, because she feels like she's lost everything else that she has in this moment.
All right. So this goes on for about 30 minutes. Of just this feeling. Like no further adverse effects. You're all like some of you are feeling exhaustion, some of you are feeling that the madness is carrying you. And as that 30 minutes goes by, let's see here. With the things that have been done so far, yeah. Sounds have been made, spells have been cast, the cumulative added ones to this, and all right. The deafening silence is broken by loud, raspy inhalations all around you, as if a hundred sets of lungs had decided all at once to take a long needed breath. The exhalation that follows erupts like a screaming hiss as you can feel the air move for the first time since entering this hallowed realm, swirling around you rapidly as something or things circle in the darkness. I need all of you to roll initiative.
Would I be able to do one thing before like initiative started, or is it just
Making sure I'm on the right thing. Depends on what you're doing, because this, you may have gotten something off if you thought of it before the 30 minutes happened. It's a 30-minute mark thing.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of do it before this. It was when I use my cross stitch ability. So it's just it gives me temporary hit points.
Okay, sure. Let me find a map where you all are. All right, perfect. Here we go. We're going to add a turn, add a turn, add a turn, add a turn. Oh my goodness. There's still people here. I gotta get rid of those. Goodbye. 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 Frankie, Reva, Rosina. All right. Frankie, what's yours?
23.
23. Reva,
13 plus 5, 18.
18. Augustine. You're muted.
Oh, sorry, 26. Sorry, I was looking to see like what all features and stuff I have, so I was a little distracted.
No worries. Rosina,
17.
17. Oh, Jesus, that's 107. That's not right at all.
Are we allowed to switch initiative? Because Reba, if you want to go in my spot, I'm fine with switching.
Totally
I'd
fine.
love that.
All right. 23 and 18. And we will sort the turn order. Perfect. All right. Up first is Augustine. You feel something surrounding you. It is you can't see it, but you feel it. You feel an something of an aberrant nature around you. I'm not going to give you disadvantage to hit this thing because it literally is surrounding all of you. Oh, I suppose I should roll for it too. Good lord. I'm gonna use just a random token from a library. That's not it. Here we go. Here we go. This here. Add a turn, and it has a initiative bonus of 5. Okay. 17. All right, Rosina, what's your dex? 0? Okay. This thing will go slightly before you. All right. Augustine, it is your turn. What would you like to do? Now, to clarify everything here for everybody, I will say that if it requires line of sight or the ability to see it, you can't see anything. Reva, you are able to, but barely. And I'll explain what you're seeing here in a second. Things that require touch, you can reach out and I'll allow touch spells. So, Reva, you're not sure what you're seeing, but you see what appears to be ghostly specters, thousands of them, swirling around in a tornado-esque thing, weaving in and out of the entire party, everywhere around you, coming from all directions, and this wailing sound, and as the silence is broken. So that's what you see.
You're muted.
Muted.
Augustine is going to, in the hopes of like kind of narrowing down the best things to go after or best places to hit. This is a shot in the dark and possibly a waste of an action, but she's gonna cast True Seeing.
Okay.
Gives the willing creature you touch the ability to see things as they actually are. For the duration, the creature has true sight, notices secret doors hidden by magic, and can see into the ethereal plane, all out to a range of 120 feet. I don't know if that actually helped here, but
Yes, it will, because True Sight typically is of a divine origin, not to mention the fact that you are touched by the divine. Your magical girl powers come from a divine source. Yes, if you cast True Sight on yourself, you actually see a little bit clearer than Reva what is around you. Everything else is vast emptiness as far as you can see outside of these thousands of souls that are swirling around you all. It's almost impossible to see through. You see flickers of your allies in the darkness here as the souls keep flashing by and zooming in and out in between you all. So yes, you can see.
Okay. Then let me sort this by. Let's do it this way. Okay, that was a bard spell, which per my battle magic means that I can make a weapon attack as a bonus action. So I am going to swing home at just the closest one I can see, which is a plus 16. Okay. 27 to hit.
Hits.
Can
and
I
to-
choose to spend a Ooh,
No,
go ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna go ahead and let you finish before I told you.
Can I choose to spend a charge
Yeah.
retroactively, like after I've swung? Okay. I am going to spend a charge as well, which adds the D8 of, I believe, radiant. That's D8 and a D. Nope, nope, not that. D8. Where's my D10? There it is. That's going to be 16 points of damage. 8 of that is radiant.
Okay. So as you're swinging, you finally take stock of what you're seeing. You are seeing what is classified as a gargantuan swarm of medium aberrations. As you swing, your sword strikes true. However, it seems like the radiant damage was muffled a little bit, as if it wasn't as effective as it could have been. All right. Go ahead. What in the? That's not what I wanted to do. Let me pull this over here. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and put that was okay. Next, is there anything else you wanted to do this turn? Okay, Riva, it is your turn.
Okay. I think as she goes, uses her cross stitch ability, you just kind of hear this like tearing of like I guess flesh and like the like cutting of like what sounds like threads. And Augustine would see her like arm kind of her right arm kind of distends a little longer, and so does her torso, and she gets these big fangs coming out of her mouth. And I'll use my bonus action to go into my reverie and start dancing.
Okay.
I'll use my what is it called? Superior performance too. So it's
Okay.
my super good one. I'll give Rosina inspiration. So D8, I believe.
Thank you.
And then for my action, I'll take 2 swings on the giant cloud of ghosts.
All right. Go ahead. Take your swing.
I don't believe this is an advantage. So it's
Just
gonna
to
be straight.
expedite this, the AC is 19.
Great. I think it's just gonna be 2 hits. It's been a while
Okay.
since I played this character. It's a. Oh right, it's a plus 20 to hit. These all hit unless I roll a 1. Okay.
Nice. Also, do remember that if you
Yeah.
are using the weapons that you were given in the beginning, they give you bonuses against aberrations, undead, and one other thing, I think, but I don't remember what the other one is.
Riva has made a vow to use 1 weapon alone. She's going to use that one.
I understand.
That is 2 hits, so it's 2d10. I'm assuming this swarm of like specters is not leaning particularly towards male in gender.
No. They're aberrations, so they're not exactly. They're pretty gender neutral in that regard.
Okay, 7. Oh shoot, drop that ice. It's pretty good. So 17, so 37. Do I add anything to that? No, because I haven't done mine. I think it's just 37 damage.
All right. Cool beans.
All right, and Oz yells at everyone else, Ghosts are everywhere. Just so if you start swinging, you'll hit them.
Nice. All right. Frankie.
First off, Quinn will be right back.
Okay.
According to the chat. I am going to start with casting Spirit Guardians, 3rd level.
Oh, you cheeky bastard. What type of damage do they do?
They do radiant.
Okay.
Because I am not evil. I'm just an asshole.
Fair. You don't have to be evil to be an asshole.
I've watched docs, I know. It doesn't hurt. And that's a wisdom save for any of your creatures that are within range.
Yeah.
16 or higher.
Jesus. All right. Let's see how this works. Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
What in the?
That's a no.
I have a +10 to this, and I rolled 15. So, yeah. Roll your damage. And because of the fact that this is a large swarm, and I do swarms differently, if you're doing an area of an effect, which is what you are doing, the damage gets amped up. So.
All right. Well, that's a 12 on the die.
Okay.
So 12 points of damage, and however you elect to ramp that up.
Go ahead and do 1. Okay. All right. Yeah. It takes a toll. Obviously, the damage is buffeted a little bit because it is resistant to radiant, but it's hitting enough of them that it's actually having a noticeable impact on the group as a whole. And with that, it is their turn.
I've got 3 attacks as a
Oh,
fighter.
never mind. Get to it. I'm gonna scooch back. There you go. It's your turn.
That's a 27 to hit with my sword, any one of them. For the second one, and the third is an 18, which is probably not going to hit.
No, it does not.
Cool. So for the first one, that's 10 points of slashing damage. And that should be it. Something out there got stabbed.
Yes, it did. All right. Anything else?
Not that I can do, so no.
All right. It is indifferent. To that.
Hey, John.
Yes.
We are at just after time.
Yes. I'm gonna end at your turn. So we're gonna I'm gonna go ahead and make I'm gonna roll randomly here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. Two. Reba, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Only go well. Actually, charisma's pretty good for him. And I'll add my D6 as well. I'm gonna need it. Actually, wait, do I make charisma saves? Or is it just ability checks? Oh, is it magic?
Is an ability, not magic.
You still have a D4 from resistance as well.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll add I have a D6 for myself and a D4 from you. So it was a 2. So +2 + 11 is 13, plus 1 is 14, plus a D4. Oh, I rolled a 1 on both the dice.
All right.
15.
All right. You take 62 necrotic damage as you feel the life drained from you.
I will use my. Oh no, I'm not. Okay. How much?
62.
62.
And your life total is reduced by that much until you finish a long rest.
Well, at least I got those 10 HP first. So I'm gonna have to do some math.
No worries. That is its turn. Rosina, to finish off our round before we end it here.
So to clarify, can I see them now or no?
No, but you do know that if it requires shooting at random or touching them, there you can do it pretty easily. It's just if it requires line of sight, you don't really know where to aim it.
Okay. I think almost everything I can do requires me to actually see the creature. I checked all of the wording. That's like,
Including
Would there be any light
your
from my spiritual guardians?
you know what? I'll go ahead and say that you can see some of the spirits flittering in and out near Frankie.
Arxene also has Beacon of Hope's up, right? Or is that gone
Yes.
now?
Beacon of Hope is still up, but it doesn't provide light.
I did that before the 30 minutes passed.
Yes.
So it's over
Oh,
now.
okay.
okay. I'm curious if I can choose this as for the aspect of justice as my target of divine justice, if I can only just see it now. You're supposed to be able to do that on initiative roll.
I will let you have it. You are
Okay.
essentially a divine-ish being coming into your
Okay.
power.
All right. Rosina is going to try to do an axe attack, I guess, because that's what she knows how to do best. So I get 3 attacks on my action. Oh, that's not great. That's 18.
Misses.
That's really bad. That's 14. And that's a 24.
Okay. All right. So that last one hits. However, in the essence of you learning your powers, here, that last axe attack, I'm going to give you this as a freebie. Go ahead and roll your divine wrath as your axe slams into them, and instead of channeling the power of the axe, you actually you channel your divine spirit and slam it directly into this creature. I will let you use half of your divine dice.
Okay. Trying to figure out where I wrote down how many I had. Give me 1 second.
I actually believe normally it's you can use as many divine dice during a turn that are equal to your modifier for that, which is wisdom. But I'm gonna make an
And
exception
my wisdom's
here.
halved right now, right?
No, you just have a -3 to it. So
Oh,
you're
yeah,
down
sorry.
you're down 1 from your modifier.
Okay. So I can use 5. All right. Divine dice. So that is 17 damage.
Okay. Perfect. All right, you slam into it. Your axe, you're expecting your axe to hit, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna chop this thing. It's gonna be awesome. But what happens instead is your axe misses a couple times, and when you finally find purchase on this thing, what happens instead is your energy, an energy beam from you, channels through your axe and explodes into a few of these aberrations. And as soon as that happens, as quickly as the battle began, it ends. A soothing but stern voice pierces the air. Who dares cheat these souls of their eternal slumber? The words, somehow both peaceful and menacing at the same time, sound as if they're coming from everywhere and nowhere all at once. Death has awoken, and it demands answers. And that's where we'll pick up next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will see you in 2 weeks for Red to Black to figure out what they're going to do with Death. And we will see you next week on Saturday for City of Illumination. Thank you all for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.